Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode.
Hang on. Discord does this all this. There we go. Go.
Episode 269. It's good to be here tonight. Sean's moving, or he's doing. I don't know. He's doing something. He's setting up for a party that doesn't take place for another like month or so. I don't know. He might be in later on tonight when he gets back. All right. So if he just randomly pops in, there you go. But got a bunch of people here to talk about actually the month coming up. This is the last Spawncast before June starts, and that's good because May felt like it was taking forever. So good to see. We're gonna start with OJ tonight because I forgot him last time in the intro. So let's go to Player Essence, holding up the pre-stream.
I think people went
people
back
forgot until I mentioned it.
No, but I think people went back and checked, and you did talk to him. I thought. I can't remember.
Going to OJ. OJ, how we doing? How'd the pre-stream go? Everything?
The pre-stream went well. 300 something plus people in there. I was telling them a story. It was about my fights with fraternity people and running for my life sometimes. So that was fun.
Okay.
So yeah, we talked about video games too. We talked about video games as well. But no, it was a good pre-stream. Thanks for having me on once again. I'm excited to talk about some video games today.
Let's go over to Miss Click. Good to have Click here.
Hi, yeah, good to be here. Never fought fraternity people, so I just got a more exciting life than me.
There's 3 main ones, Click.
Oh, yeah?
When I went to Fresno State, there's 3 main ones, black fraternities, and I would get into all sorts of issues with them. It's funny. I'll tell you later.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
Good to have Click here. We got Jordan Fringe.
Hey, good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Jordan Fringe is here. We got Max, Dreamcast guy, floating around out there.
I'm off in the seat. Look, I just want to say this once because I'm so happy. They had those limited edition anniversary Final Fantasy shirts. I got one of the Final Fantasy 7 shirts. They sold that in like 1 minute. I happened to click and I had the last one.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Very nice.
Nice.
Very nice. Then we have Nate. Nate the Hate is here.
Yes, and potentially with explosions in the background in the next 15 to 20 minutes.
Why?
Well, Memorial weekend, right?
Well, it's Gatsby Days in Rhode Island, and that is a historical event when Rhode Islanders commandeered a British ship as the first act of rebellion against the British Empire, where the schooner got stuck in a sandbar, and the Rhode Islanders flooded it, and they lit it on fire and killed the British. And it took place before the Boston, Tea Party. So this was the first act of rebellion, and we celebrate it every year, the weekend.
See why they're blowing stuff up
May.
And keep
so when you hear cannon fire and explosions, it's just them celebrating.
Okay. Thanks for that, Nate.
It's an important part of American history they don't teach.
It's because they don't care.
I wonder why. Let's go to we'll actually start over here. Let's start with actually Evan. Evan's here too. Sorry, I got lost after Nate told that riveting story of Rhode Island and what was it? What was it?
Gatsby Days.
Okay. Gatsby Days. Thank you.
Like a book about like the Great Gatsby or whatever.
No, that's Gatsby. This is Gaspy.
Is it kind of like Gasparilla here in like the Tampa Bay?
Is that a soda? What is that?
We celebrate. It's more of along pirates in the Bay, but. Do you guys do like here in Florida? It's like a day everybody would like take off of school, but there'd be like parades and beads and people dressed like pirates.
Florida celebrating fake holidays.
Yours is a little bit more like
Pirates of the Caribbean holiday.
Right?
We don't have anything like that. It's just kind of like a little festival in the city where you have arts and crafts and fireworks and.
Florida was like, we like Mardi Gras. Yeah, let's get something like that.
Yeah, let's do that. Texas just has a lot of Civil War reenactments. You get tired of that fucking war, but people just live it forever.
Also, I see Jeff Grubb over in the chat, the super chat says, sorry, but Top Gun Maverick is about to start. Have a good show.
Saw that this morning.
We don't care about no damn Jeff Grubb.
Was it good? Was it good, Jordan?
Oh yeah, no, it was a good time.
Okay, well, we'll see what Jeff thinks. Maybe we'll still be here when he gets out. I don't know. We'll see. We got some stuff to talk about tonight. Includes the June coming up with Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft, since we know a couple of events now with Sony announcing their state of play. Sega has some weird mystery announcement that I'm sure will just build up for massive disappointment, but we'll talk about it anyway. And then we're going to talk about the PlayStation Plus issues with the emulation. I wanted MVG to be here because he had some input on that as well with the 50 hertz and everything, but we'll go over all of that here tonight. Evan, you want to hit us with a Discord question to start?
What is your most favorite video game meme? I'm guessing it's the "Here we go again" meme.
I mean, that's the easy one, right? That's the
big one.
I would go with the James Woods getting shot by the criminal meme, like Max put out with the Nintendo, and Valid criticism, weird ass internet nerd. I like that one because it can be applied to so many things.
Yeah, but that's more universe. I don't know if it's game centric, kind of like the Here We Go Again.
So out of a video game then.
Most likely.
Here we go with CJ. Here we go again.
CJ's Here We Go Again is the big one.
You can use that in anything.
That is a good one.
I do love it, as cheesy as it is. I do just love the "let me solo her," all the Elden Ring memes, but that one specifically always cracked me up. Of like a naked guy with a pot on his head, because now people say like the more naked you are in Elden Ring, the better you are. So people just like draw pictures of people in thongs and be like, I want that guy on my team.
I think for me, my favorite one has got to be the surprise Pikachu face.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
That's the anime though. That's not a video. That's
like
anime.
Lives off of pizza and iced coffee, has stomach problems.
That's anime though. That's not. You can't use that.
That counts.
It blurs the lines a bit.
He counts as property.
All right.
Let's. Evan, we got another Discord question.
When did YouTube/Twitch become full time for you?
Years ago.
Yeah.
Feels like another lifetime ago at this point.
2016.
I'm still working a normal job, bro. I'm still out here grinding.
OJ's got that Walmart life.
Yeah, damn right. Pulling carts in the heat.
Stocking shelves, man. It's crazy.
I did that for years.
Support my channel. Go become a member. Do something, shit. So I can get out of this hell.
So let's go over to. We'll just start with June. I've been ready for May to end for a little while. May's kind of boring. What's really happening in May? I don't know. Is that just me?
No, yes, it is just you. May was packed full of games.
Was it? I mean, all the games.
I played a lot of the Evil Dead game. That was a sleeper hit.
That was the big thing, is there wasn't like a massive release in May. There wasn't like a lot of events or news or anything. It was just kind of like drifting along through May.
I'm kind of thankful for that though, because I was able to catch up on some games that I didn't get to. Like I finally finished Horizon Forbidden West.
I am right at the end of that game. My problem is they keep giving me side quests and I keep doing them.
Yeah, so. But they're actually pretty decent though, and they give you some really good stuff. So
they do. I'm almost 50 hours in on that game, and I'm like, I should be done. Yeah, but I'm still going.
Yeah, the characters that you recruit too, I love the dialogue with them. I kind of wish there was like a reputation system like Mass Effect, because it almost does feel like Mass Effect 2, where you're acquiring your team. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like Aloy probably wouldn't be very renegade, but it would be cool if they had that in, but the different characters and stuff. But did you get to the part where you got your upgraded like mount?
My upgraded,
yeah. Bro, wasn't that epic? Well, that was a really cool scene.
My problem is I end up finding some ridiculously large creatures in the beginning. Like I found the big turtle, the shell snapper. Yeah. In the beginning, and that thing just cracked me completely. I just died immediately from it. But I keep going off and finding these massive creatures, and I end up fighting them for like 20 minutes at a time, and then I forget that I was supposed to be doing the main story.
Yep.
So I need to get back on. I just need to finish it. I just need to go through it.
Yep.
That's just where I am now.
It's kind of really satisfying finding a big machine like that, like the Thunderbird or the bear, the Fireclaw, whatever they're called. Bro, the bear is terrifying. But yeah, when you find those, it's like, I'm gonna fight this thing. Are you kidding me? It's really easy to get
shell
distracted.
Snapper. That was the one. That one. But game's good. It's kind of fell under the radar for a lot of people, but it keeps selling. Like it's in the sales charts constantly. So
I hope it's one of those things that just people kind of buy when they finish the other games that they've played, and then they continue on the story. So I don't want to spoil anything for you, but I want to talk about it. When you finished it
in Europe, or sorry, no, UK.
I did. They might actually. Maybe they'll do that for the holiday in the US or something this year too. I think that's a good bundle to go with. I do.
Yeah. The Lego set was really cool too. I was with some of my patrons earlier, and he had the tall neck Lego set that came out constructed. That was really, really cool.
Well, May is over just about. We just have a few more days. This is the last Spawncast before then, though, and we're already looking at some events coming up. We have Microsoft's event, we have Summer Games Fest, we have Sony State of Play that we have to go over, and I mean, I feel like we'll probably hear about a Nintendo Direct if it's going to happen here pretty soon, because last year I looked, they announced it 2 weeks in advance. It's around, I mean, this week coming up when we get into June, that's about 2 weeks prior. So I would expect they would probably try to announce it earlier than usual. Like it's not gonna be like 3 days before, but it's weird this year. There's no E3 like that's like right there on the calendar.
Hey Nate, how's it going?
Pleasant. I'm enjoying a nice glass of water, having a bag of pistachio.
Anything to say, Nate?
Pistachio are a great snack that people should invest in.
You know what?
We would normally see it. Let me bring up the calendar here.
They're going to announce that direct, and RGT is going to use that same fucking thumbnail used every time, which is him looking shocked in front of the badly Photoshop crystal ball. Like, whoa! Every time, every Nintendo direct,
no,
exact
that's predictions.
the predictions, yeah, the predictions one's identical every time.
He's pondering the sphere.
He always looks shocked, and he's always just
like
same
when
thumbnail every time.
Direct, his predictions are up like 5 minutes later.
6 seconds later, yeah, they're like, "We're doing it direct," and he's like, "Good news, I got a crystal ball."
It would normally be on the we would have Microsoft is what's that? Microsoft's the 12th. Is it the 12th for Microsoft? I think. So.
Mm-hmm. No, 12. My bad.
You would have Nintendo 13th or 14th. That would be 14th. I'm sorry, that Tuesday. Normally, if it was like E3, right? Because Microsoft go on Sunday, and then like you'd have Capcom or Square attempt to run something, and then you'll have like Nintendo finish up on that Tuesday, and then the rest of the week is just E3 and like media and all that stuff in person. None of that's going to happen. So then you would assume if they're going to announce it 2 weeks prior, it would be this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So the 31st to the 2nd. To announce it for that week, trailing Microsoft. So we'll have to keep an eye out this week if that's going to happen, because I mean I know some people were talking about things changing up for Nintendo this time, but I still think they go with the typical direct. I think it's just going to fall right in that week.
I actually put up a poll on my channel asking when people expected the direct, and how I phrase it is, when do you expect the Nintendo Direct to air? Do you expect Nintendo to stick to tradition? Or will it come later than usual? Right now, most people are expecting it the typical week.
Yeah. I mean, they've stuck to it for a long time, so it would be very weird if they all of a sudden didn't. I don't know, Nate. You bringing that up makes people think that maybe you're leading them on there.
People can go vote, and they'll see how they did.
Stop leading people on.
Will they see how they did this week coming up when they announced that it's for the 14th? I think there's a direct this right around that time. I'm sticking with it. Stick with tradition.
Did you vote in the poll?
I will vote right now.
When does Nintendo announce it?
That's the big question. When would they announce it? I still think 2 weeks before.
Okay, I was about to say, answer my question, please.
Yeah, Nate, when are they announcing it? I'm gonna go to Nate the Hate's channel right now. Nate the Hate. Here we go. I'm going to go to community tab.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have June 1-4. So
June 1st
voting for 4th. June -3. June.
This isn't a math class.
No, okay. So 12th to the 18th. Okay, so
it's broken down week to week.
It's happening. Basically, you're saying it's going to happen sometime in June. Then the way you're phrasing this. So I'm sticking with 12th to the 18th. Thank you. 60%. That's right.
60%.
Wow. So he can never be wrong.
I'm sticking with it. 60% voted correctly.
That's to be determined.
We'll see. We'll see what happens there. But we do have Sony State of Play.
Final Fantasy 16.
This is interesting because they gave us an idea as to what'll be here. Probably because everyone's like, "Oh, God of War," and they essentially wanted to be like, "Yeah, God of War's not going to be there." So stop saying that. Well, it is Thursday, June 2nd. 30 minutes of announcements and updates from the world of PlayStation. That's going to be at 3 p.m. Pacific or 6 p.m. Eastern Time. They said they'll have exciting reveals, third-party partners, sneak peek at several games in development for PlayStation VR 2. And then they let everyone know who's co-streaming that they do not have your back.
Yeah.
So
wait,
that's fun.
Like two days before this, I think Sony did an interview where they said that like PSVR 2 is going to have 20 games at launch. Did you see that?
Isn't it an investors thing? Yeah.
It was in an investors briefing. They're going to have at least 20 major titles, as they say.
And that's why I think I'm hoping not. I hope it's good stuff like Final Fantasy 16. I'm afraid this is just going to be one long PSVR 2 showcase.
I think it's going to be 70% PSVR 2 if I had to give you a guess.
Oh my God.
Really?
If I had to
You guys
guess.
think it's going to be that much?
Yeah,
I think this is their like big push for PSVR 2 with games, because I don't think they're gonna tell us the price or release date. They want to set us up with games because this thing's gonna be expensive. So.
Well, and remember when the PS5 was in development, all the people that were working on it, devs were leaking that the thing was made for VR. They made the thing specifically for the PSVR 2. So I mean, get ready for my hands on head thumbnail when that happens.
I'm gonna go back to Click as well. We were kind of going back and forth there. Click, what were you trying to say?
Well, I was just gonna. I mean, so they basically said it wasn't gonna be like DMCA kind of thing.
No. They said here, please note that this broadcast may include copyright content, licensed music that PlayStation does not control. They say we welcome co-streamers and creators, but licensing agreements outside our control could interfere with co-streams or VOD archives of this broadcast.
Cut the audio.
Interesting. So yeah, I mean, that's
like,
just
good luck.
That's just gonna be me muting the stream and then dubbing over sound effects again. So
yep,
all right.
This always happens. I mean, this is like they'll copyright claim most of these things. You know, Microsoft's too will probably get copyright claim because they always use music.
It's one thing on YouTube, the copyright claim. It's different for Twitch because if they really wanted to, they could just strike a whole bunch of channels and get them taken down on Twitch if they wanted to. It's a little bit different on YouTube.
So we have a lot of PSVR 2, I think, going on here. But for a second, before we go a bit further into what we think could be there for that, what third-party games developers you think going to be? I can think of two right now. And again, it's a shame MVG's not here. You know what? I think he did this on purpose. Nate, I think he did.
Final Fantasy 16.
What are you going to say? Silent Hill?
I'm saying Silent Hill.
Silent Hill, and I to throw out a dream one. There's been so much talk about Resident Evil 4 remake. Capcom has Capcom did an investor thing where they said this is about to be their highest year of sales ever. I do think that Resident Evil 4 remake.
Resident Evil 4 remakes there. That's an automatic. That's an automatic win. That's a win for the stream immediately.
If they have FF16 and would they do that, Nate? I'm stupid.
That's a lot. That's bordering on like showcase territory.
Yeah, I think I'm done. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty. I mean the problem with the June stuff, especially with the Summer Game Fest, is we don't know if Square, Capcom, or any of these other third parties will still announce their own individual events during the month of June that Keighley will then claim. Because right now all we have is Sony, Microsoft, and Keighley's one-day thing.
Keighley's about to be like, yo, look at this direct. It's part of Summer Game Fest now.
Yeah.
A little logo on it.
I mean, Keighley kept putting out there that a lot of these companies opted to do their own thing, and no company has announced their own thing.
He did kind of, well, he mentioned that it's going to be a bit more consolidated this time around, is what he said, where they realized, I mean, dude, Capcom, their E3 last year was pretty bad. Like,
well, yeah, it was a waste of time.
Yeah, so it would have been better if they took one of those, like they had one big announcement in there. I think it was the Phoenix Wright stuff. They could have thrown that into just Nintendo's event, something like that, right? It's like, here's this, and we'll take RE Village DLC and we'll drop that announcement into anything, so Sony, whenever they want to do it or something, right? So I think they are going to split it up a bit. Square would be interesting because they have that deal, like you said, they could have Final Fantasy 16 there. I like the idea of RE4 being here, though, because Sony generally has the marketing for Resident Evil, these remakes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the closeout, right?
Well, and also, let's face it, I feel like Resident Evil 4 is such an iconic game. They could literally just have a chainsaw revving and say Resident Evil, and people would know what the hell it is.
You got to show Leon, though, right?
I would
show what he looks like.
Yeah, right. Well, or even because a lot of the leaks are saying that it's darker and scarier. I hope that they show like the castle at night or something. That's what I want to see.
There's a lot of stuff they could do there. I just hope that is the reveal. Also, it could go hand in hand with PSVR 2.
Oh, yeah.
You could have a PSVR 2 mode for not only RE Village, but also RE4 Remake. Which I think would be really cool, because we already have RE4 in VR on Oculus. So why not do one for PSVR 2 here?
I think Resident Evil 8 for PSVR 2 would make more sense, because you could also announce the Resident Evil Village DLC at the event as well.
Yes, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think most people, if they had to take a guess at one third-party game that's going to PSVR 2, it would be Village. Like, because 7 was completely playable in VR, so you assume that Capcom would follow that up there. There was also a rumor that apparently Modern Warfare 2 may have a PSVR 2 mode. This from Ralph Valve. That would be kind of weird. Although we have like what Medal of Honor and stuff on Oculus, so we already have first-person shooter games there. So I wouldn't be shocked if we saw that. Just why not? Just throw that mode in there.
That does not. I would not play that. That sounds like shaky cam on top of shaky cam inside my headset.
So I mean, with PSVR 2 still going, Gran Turismo, that's probably getting a VR mode. That's like, to me, that's obvious. Like they did it with sport, so why not do it here? We already know Horizon Call of the Mountain. I feel like there has to be more first-party VR stuff ready to go from Sony. Killzone was apparently canceled at one point based on rumors.
Iron Man VR 2.
Oh gosh, Iron Man VR 2.
One of them was, what was it? Fire Sprite was doing something, right? I think they made some sort of like bank heist.
They're doing a horror game, I think.
Oh yeah,
you're doing a horror game, but they just recently I think we're hiring for it.
They're doing a VR. They're doing Twisted Metal.
Yep.
So they're busy.
I like the idea here of an Astro game as Astrobot. Have that just be. I think it'd be better to have an update to Astro's Playroom that takes advantage of the PSVR 2 headset, so you don't even need a pack-in game for the headset because everyone just has it on their PS5 already. So you just update it and boom, you have VR for it. And the big third-party game I feel like Sony has to have here, if we're talking VR, it's got to be Half-Life Alyx.
I know. Yeah, you were talking about that. Months ago. I remember you speculate if that's it, because I've still never played Half-Life Alyx, and I've heard everybody who's played it has said it's the definitive VR experience. It comes to PSVR 2. I'll definitely
has to be a launch game. Has to launch. You have to launch with that game. I think that's a great one to have next to like Horizon, a Gran Turismo update for VR, and some Resident Evil stuff thrown in there. And apparently like another 15 games or something. I don't know. That's one of the reasons I think this is going to be one state of play mostly centered around VR and like 3 third-party announcements for like regular just games. So they got to set it up. VR 2 it's not launching this year though. Like we would have heard.
Nate,
it's just a siren. It's gonna be followed by coyotes howling, but
it's
Nate's about to get arrested for Nintendo ninjas coming after.
And I guess that they're gonna unveil the pricing in this well after these games. Like it's not gonna be part of this state of play. So my question is, can they show off enough games here to soften the sticker shock when they reveal the pricing for this thing? Because I am envisioning $500 to $600 for this headset.
Am I going to need a second job to get this? Like the PS? Is Sony going to tell us we need to get a second job for this?
Yeah, OJ's going to need a promotion at Walmart. He'll be like, "Look, I'll push double the carts if you give me a discount on that VR." I'm going to have
to start pushing 2 at a time, man.
Yeah, dude, please give me that VR, please.
And my Walmart's ghetto as hell too, so people will just be leaving. They don't even use the little section, you know? They just leave it all over the place.
I'm thinking it's going to be based on the specs they were saying and the market around them. I think it's going to be $500 to $600 for that thing. And then you still got to buy the PS5. You're looking at about $1,000 investment for this thing.
If it's the same, dude, if it's the same price as the console, I'm not going to be happy. Well, I'm saying that now. I
would look at it this way for VR. High-end PCs now, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. The headset for like a Vive.
Last gaming PC I bought was $3K with the 30 series, 3080 and all that.
Which is what you'd want for VR, and you get an Index or a Vive or something. I mean, you're bordering on almost $4,000 for that setup. So technically, you'd step back and be like, all right, this is actually not that bad, but it's still expensive. Like, the reason Oculus Quest 2 sells as well as it does, which last I checked was almost 10 million units have sold of that, because it's $300 to $400, and that's all. You have the headset, there's no wires, nothing, it's all in one. And it plays Resident Evil 4. So... what was that?
Resident Evil
I got a text message for
Resident Evil 4 is also on mobile. They just let us know that it is on it is a mobile game as well.
That's going to be interesting because they are clearly waiting to tell us the price for this thing. I do not think they're excited to run out there with that sticker shock. So show all the games you can.
Everything's just so expensive right now. I just can't imagine spending money on a headset.
VR headset.
Well, especially because, man, I don't know. I feel like I'm not super into VR, so I am, of course, a casual, not a hardcore VR person. So the idea of dropping $500 for something, I mean, I'm probably going to buy some launch games and like it, but after that, I played my original PSVR headset for a month, and it's been sitting in a box for 2 years.
Here's the other interesting thing about that: the specs on this headset are really good. I almost wonder, with their direction currently, which is heavily PC based, if this thing works with PC as well.
Ooh.
Like, there's drivers, it's set up, it's ready to go. You buy it, you can use it on PS5, or you can use it on your PC. Oh yeah, and there are going to be a bunch of PSVR 2 games that we develop or fund that also go to PC, like day one or later on. Because then you open it up to a PC crowd that, like $500 for a headset in that space is.
Because good,
that's easy.
For good stats, it's $1,000 normally.
Yeah, and if you look at the PSVR 2 specs they're talking about now, it's pretty good. It's like up there with some of the high end stuff.
I think it was better in some regard from what we saw to the index, but worse, I think, only in field of view, and that was it.
Yep. So I think that's the best route for Sony to go, is to broaden their audience by also allowing it to be PC compatible out of the box. Because eventually they got the regular PSVR working on PC. It's so old now. Oh, it's so bad compared to everything now. So I am looking forward to the state of play, but I'm not expecting like the most ridiculous presentation ever.
Yeah.
Well, you're a sucker. I'm expecting Final Fantasy 16. I'm expecting Resident Evil 4.
If they have those 2 games there, I mean, that's an automatic like 8, 9 out of 10 for a state of play immediately. Especially if they have a date for 16.
I do think they're going to show like 30 seconds of God of War Ragnarok. I just have a feeling, because even though it's not the point of the showcase, I just feel like they've been tweeting about it so much. I feel like they're just going to be like, hey,
here's the interesting thing about that, Max. I think what this state of play really tells us is that there is a God of War Ragnarok state of play coming probably before the end of June.
Well,
like I think that's going to happen.
That usually, like, apparently the last couple of years, I don't remember this, but somebody said that like they'll usually do like an E3 style showcase, and then like exactly a month later in early June they do a dedicated. So there is a chance that they'll do something right at the beginning, like June 2nd, and then July 2nd do a God of War 1.
I think they could, if they filled up, how long was that Ghostwire Tokyo one? They filled up a good chunk with that. They can definitely do an entire state of play around God of War and then hit us with a release date at the end that I still think is this year. Like, I think that game's coming out this year, and I think it's going to end up being I mean, if you look at it start to finish, pretty good year for Sony overall. So
yeah, it's this year.
Yeah. Okay. There you go, Nate. So yeah, look out for that. That'll be this week. Should be interesting. See how it turns out. Evan, we got Discord questions over there.
We have someone playing V Rising. They're just wondering if any of us have checked it out. I guess thoughts on the game.
Not yet.
I haven't. People keep saying it's good though.
I tried it for 2 hours. Okay. It's all right. It's top down, so it has that Diablo feel, but there's still the survival elements. I believe we kind of talked off stream a little bit about it being kind of close to Rust. I think the servers are 40-man. You can set a PvP server, join factions, have a lot of fun that kind of way, build castles. There's stuff going on in the world, like regular human beings walking around doing stuff, and you can just attack them as vampires. It's kind of cool.
The sunlight sucks.
Yeah.
Since you're a vampire, man, when it's daytime, you actually have to hide in the shade, and it's a pain.
I got to a camp in it when the sun came up, and I had to wait for the shadows casting from the trees to move over to the camp to then run into it and kill everyone. Yeah, it's great.
I killed a whole fort of people, and so there was this big archway, and I was literally having to tiptoe to stay in the shade till it got deep enough that I could summon my horse and run away.
Let's go over here to the Sega mystery announcement, because I have no idea what this is.
Is it cake?
It's very strange. It was posted up by the official Sega account, right? This is their Japan account, and you have to hit the little translate button to get a rough idea of what's happening here. This is a live broadcast this week upcoming. They have it on the 3rd Friday, and if it's in Japan, it'd be like Thursday night here or something, or early Friday morning, depending on what time it is there. I think this would be Thursday night, maybe on the East Coast. Anyway, they say this is an urgent notice live broadcast to announce Sega's new project. They say there will be an appearance from Hiroyuki Miyazaki, and Yosuke Ukinari. And then it just says, does that mean, with a little question mark and like the thinking face. YouTube, and it's going to also be on Nico Nico Live broadcasting. So looking into this, and they obviously brought up the names for a reason. One being executive manager of Sega for marketing, producing, all of this. And then the other one, Mr. Okanori, creative producer for Sega. Background is marketing during the Saturn era. So obviously now people are running wild with speculation. They put this weird little, is it like a chocolate Sega Genesis controller here?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
I don't understand what that's supposed to mean.
Either that or it's a turd.
Yeah, it's
delicious.
One of the two. It's one of the two. They spend time decorating it.
It does look a little bit like a turd that somebody decided to come on.
Oh, I was gonna say a turd that sat out too long, but you know,
yeah.
Fine too.
That too. That possibly as well. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what they're doing here. If it's not hardware related, could it be? I mean, a new software collection, like how they do the Genesis collection or something, as like the game on the Switch or PlayStation or any of that, or is this the Sega Saturn Classic?
Ooh.
Well, I mean, the names attached to it have also been attached to the Sega mini consoles. So that would be the logical direction to move in. But this is Sega. Sega once hyped up a Game Gear that was the size of a pinky.
I have it.
Also
it's very small.
Yeah, I have it right next to me. Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, it's Sega. You can't.
They're gonna do something weird, aren't they? Oh no, they're gonna do something weird.
They'll open a Sega Genesis cafe only in Japan. That's open for like 2 hours, and they would think that's a big deal.
I'm trying to think of how they would completely swerve this, because the Game Gear thing, no one saw that coming, and it was kind of stupid if you really look back on it now. And I don't know if that worked out for them or not. But this, to me, the next logical step. We have the Genesis Mini, we have the Game Gear Mini. It's got to be the Saturn, right? That should be it.
Or the Dreamcast Mini. I just feel like the big thing is that I just don't know how popular the Saturn is worldwide.
Yeah,
it was big in Japan, and this is specifically a Japanese Twitter tweet. I don't see this at all in the American accounts, but man, I'm hoping it's like a Dreamcast Mini instead.
My thing with this though is the Dreamcast emulation is ahead of the Saturn emulation. So you feel like they would just say, you know what, we're just gonna do Dreamcast. Let's just go for it, because I think if they announced a Dreamcast Mini, that would be a big deal online.
I'd buy like 5.
I mean, yeah. I know Max would, but you would definitely buy a couple because you keep some sealed.
Yeah.
But I would
turn
definitely
one into
buy
a
at
necklace. Be good.
I would buy at least 2. It depends on the games, but I would like to keep one sealed, because that is like definitely collector's item all over it. But if they showed up and it was decent, because the Genesis Mini was actually a good little console. Like there was some attention to detail there. The emulation for me, I was fine with it for what it was. If they really want to tackle a Dreamcast Mini with like 20 games, I'm trying to think how many games they even put on there, but it'd be good.
Games. They could do multiple. Like that's what I would like them to do. A couple, because that's what they did with the Game Gears. Is there were 4 different models of the Game Gear, each with a couple games. It'd be cool if there were different models of the Dreamcast with different games.
Oh, see, that'd be cool too. Just different. It'd be really cool though. So they put an Ethernet port on that thing, and they said, "Hey, you can play online with it."
Bro, I was playing Phantasy Star Online. I was playing it on the hacked servers this week. That
still
game
works.
Still plays.
I played it on the GameCube.
People still play it. It's that good.
Yep. I ran into at least one person on the GameCube in that video. I'm hopeful, but I feel like Sega is gonna let everyone down because it's Sega. It better not be some weird like Sega Genesis NFT thing.
Jesus.
Nah, there's no
way, right?
Nope.
They can't do that.
No way. No.
You say that now.
Apparently they filed a trademark that falls under both machinery and equipment and toy classification. So this might be some weird freaking like, hey, check it out. Here's a bunch of new Sonic toys. Got to go fast. Or it could be, I don't know, like a mini.
Maybe a Master System mini. That would not go over as well. People would be like, I don't even know what this is.
Yeah, right.
The Dreamcast is actually it's well known enough. Like definitely over the no one really knows what the Master System is. So I think that's the way to go. What do you think, Nate? What do you putting your chips on?
I mean, it's Sega.
That's why I'm asking you. What do you put your chips on? What do you go?
Yeah, I don't even put chips at this table. I just get up and walk away.
Man.
Unless there's a wild card selection, then he's completely gone.
Cut your losses and walk away.
Yeah, with Sega, you have high hopes of something great, and then they come out with something that
looks
nobody
like the
in their right
controller in
mind
that
actually
picture.
wants.
You know, it'd be hilarious if it's a Sega CD Mini or a CDX Mini. It's just the Sega CD games put on there. No one, and they just sell it as a system, like a plug and play system, but it's all the Sega CD games.
Remember when Sega hyped up like, oh, we got this big AAA new game, and it was like, what was it, Humankind or something?
Yeah, it was so Humankind.
Oh yeah. Sean was convinced it was going to be some big deal.
AAA Nights. It was AAA Nights.
Yeah, AAA Nights and Humankind. Sean was just like, what the fuck is this? You can't believe Sega's lies.
Oh my gosh. Yo, Sega has like some of the most legendary IP, and then like it's sad that like we can't even get hype from when they try to hype things up.
We want that win for Sega. That's why.
Well, yeah. I mean, you
Everyone
want
wants them
a
to do
Dreamcast Mini.
Yes.
You want something awesome because they have that back catalog of software that they could do something with. But then they come out and they make the Game Gear the size of your thumbnail and say, we're charging $35 for this, and it's what the hell am I supposed to do with it?
What do you think, Max? $100 for a Dreamcast Mini?
I think, yeah, a Dreamcast Mini. And I think people would be, so I think it's going to be $100 if it's a Dreamcast Mini. I think it's going to have 2 controllers, and they'll sell additional controllers, and it'll be compatible with a 4-port. And to people in chat who may not know, a lot of Dreamcast games were made to be HD. The assets are full HD. The games will look fantastic.
I put a poll up, said, would you buy a Dreamcast Mini for $100? Yeah, no, that's the thing about the games now. They sharpen really, really well. Like, because they're all VGA and everything, they look really good when you upscale them in emulators and all of this. So I feel like that would do well for them if they can figure it out. And emulation is good for the Dreamcast now. It runs off of like low powered chips, like the Raspberry Pi 4 can run it fine. Mm-hmm. So I feel like if they got together them and M2, which M2 mentioned Dreamcast stuff a long time ago that they're working for emulators on. So this is it. Drop the Dreamcast Mini, Sega. Let's go. Let's do it. I'm here for it.
You cowards.
Do it. Everyone wants Sega to have that win. Everyone wants them to have that W at some point.
I mean, I would just assume for like the most boring thing, and then if anything, maybe you're surprised. If not, you're just like, called it.
I'm not anticipating anything. I'm not anticipating anything hype. Like if something comes, cool. But that's why I know this from like Click. I know you're not probably into this much, but like the Persona teases.
Yep.
Wait, hold on. What happened with that?
It was nothing.
It was
Here's the wallpaper for your phone. Thanks, Atlas.
What was it? It was like I forgot what it was, but it was like a new merch shop or something.
Yeah, it was a hoodie. It was 5 shirts, and it was 3 pairs of socks.
They were like, the first announcement should have let us know, because I think at first it was a wallpaper for your phone. We should have known right then and there what was about to happen.
Didn't they release like a shampoo and conditioner?
Yeah. They had like all these anniversary stuff. They did nothing for the anniversary. They're like, oh, we're having an anniversary celebration from now all the way till this was last year. They said till next year.
Is it still going?
It goes till September.
And that's a damn thing. Maybe the P Live concert. That one is like where everyone's like, okay, that's where it's going to be something, because that's where Persona 5 Royal, I think, was first announced or teased. They do announcements of announcements. Atlas is super weird. Sega Atlas are super weird, but yeah, we'll see.
It was exciting stuff there.
Yeah, I've stopped being excited. Whenever Sega says something, I'm like, all right, Sega, I'll just wait till Persona 6 comes out. Just let me know when it's actually dropping. You know, I'll buy it then.
Maybe the next Yakuza.
Yeah. Or Yakuza. Just let me know when something's actually dropping, you know.
Evan, you want to hit us with some Discord questions over there?
All right. We have a how many of the Spawncast have switched to Windows 11?
I have not.
I think I have it.
I am on Windows 11, I think, right now.
Okay. Yeah. I know I upgraded my tablet to it. I just didn't upgrade anything else for fear that if programs had issues, I wouldn't be able to do things.
All right. You want to hit us with another one?
Could research and development of a PS5 Pro make PS5 production easier?
I saw Jez say that possible, or Jez said that like that if they make a more efficient prototype, he basically said something like, while they were working on better PlayStation 2s, they made cheaper I don't know. It's maybe
a wild Sean appears.
They'll revise the chip so that it's easier to make or just more efficient in general to make. That's already
expected. That was reported last year that they will be switching to, it's either 6 or 5 nanometer. Yeah. It should come out towards the end of this year. It's still going to have the same power profile. It's just going to be more efficient. It's going to be cheaper for Sony to manufacture and produce.
So Sony's working on a more powerful PS5 anyway, or PS6. They're always working on it. So TCL is guessing, which we can talk about that actually for a second here. TCL told everyone there's a PS5 Pro and an Xbox Series something. What did they name that anyway? Was it just next?
They called it. They called it. I think they called it
new Xbox Series X.
Yes, they called it new Series S and X.
They didn't want to take a guess, huh?
Yeah, it's gonna be called Series Xbox Series XXX.
Hey, Sean's here.
Hi.
RGT. How you doing, Sean?
I'm all right.
Y'all set up?
Yeah, somewhat.
All right, good. We were talking about the PS5 Pro. Go on.
Imagine me in 20 plus years, but replace video games with alcohol. That's my uncle.
It's a pretty easy.
So just you without video
mental
games.
Image.
Yeah.
I've already imagined it.
Yeah, that was the whole thing with TCL though. Was the PS5 Pro and the next Xbox Series E.
I mean, I made a video about it and it got good views, so I'm happy.
Hey, TCL coming through.
Right.
I believe
PS5 Pro on the way.
I do think, like Nate was saying as I came in, like there could be almost even a little bit beyond what Nate was saying. There could be some sort of revision to the system, maybe more along the lines of a Slim, which has different internal components because of the fact that this chip shortage really isn't changing anytime soon, really. So maybe they can find another way. Maybe both companies find a way. I don't know. It's a lot of your sort of field, the tech stuff, which I don't understand. So
I have no problem with a slim PS5. I actually think that's a great idea from them, especially if they end up making the chip smaller, essentially, or shrinking it down for fabrication. It'll make it so that they can essentially get a better yield out of their chips and all of that, which means, more systems.
And we've seen that for every generation. It dates back to the PlayStation 1.
Yes.
We've seen Sony do this. So that's expected. That's an inevitability that Sony is going to go that path with the PlayStation 5 when the time is right.
See, the thing with the we matched it up to the PS4, the PS4 Pro, which was 3 years. The thing with that was 4K actually grabbed on I think a little faster than even Sony was thinking there for a bit. So that PS4 Pro maybe even came out a little sooner than they were thinking it would. I feel like if they had a little more time, it would have come out alongside like the One X. But
also, I think Sony talked about part of the reason they released the Pro so fast is the PS4 sales were way above their expectations.
That too.
And so their thought was like, okay, if we release a Pro, the already hardcore fan base will buy another PlayStation 4, whereas PS5 is not in that boat. You do not want to.
You just can't find it.
It's so rare.
But let me ask, I mean, who out there right now is like clamoring that hard for 8K?
Nobody.
There's no 8K TV, and you can't even buy
you
PS5.
You can buy an 8K. I can buy one now from Best Buy for like $2,500.
No, you can, but there's not like a large array of 8K TVs or people that are even really 8K content.
That's
really.
The biggest thing.
So there's not 8K content, and like you can't even find. I haven't still to this day. I know some other people say, "Oh, I see them all the time." I haven't seen a PS5 in stores.
No, not in stores. No,
a single PS5 in stores. Like I've seen maybe a Switch OLED once. At Xbox Series S once, and I've never seen a PS5 in stores. So, and it seems like that's not. Did you guys hear about Sony's report that they put out? How fast they're selling? Like every PS5 sells like every half a millisecond or something.
I want to know that math where they did that for. That was kind of funny. They were
it was weird as hell.
Every minute, every 60 seconds, we're selling a PS5.
Jim Ryan got to stopwatch at every single location, like to the Matrix and timing every single one.
It's like Cyborg when he's inside the internet, just walking around. I can feel every PS5 selling.
Absorbing it into his body. My body.
Absorbing. I am the PlayStation.
Absorbing the information.
To me, that's the difference, though, because like 2015 to 2016, 4K was coming up a bit more than 8K is now. And everyone was just like moving to 4K, and we had these systems where it was like people were fighting over it was 720p or 1080. No one was talking about 4K, so there was a reason to push those systems out.
I mean, not to be that guy, but are the systems we have now doing 4K 60 locked? Like,
no.
You know, like developers can't even harness it.
Hey, we'll see. Forza coming up. That might be the one.
Man, you see the Elden Ring's 4K.
Hey, turn 10. Don't count out turn 10.
You have not seen a damn thing from Forza.
Don't count out turn 10. I'm telling you.
I mean, obviously we'll see it. We'll see it next month, and then I'll have to decide if I need an Xbox steering wheel as well.
Now, Sean.
No, but I mean, you really think that game's gonna be 4K 60 plus?
I kind of feel like it's gonna be 4K 60 minimum.
Wait, what is Forza on the Xbox Series? Isn't 4K 60?
Oh, which one? Horizon? Or
yeah, Horizon.
Horizon. I think it's dynamic. It's dynamic. I think.
Yeah, but I think it's dynamic.
I mean, like, I think turn 10 is gonna have some pretty good stuff for this new Forza coming up. But we'll find out in a couple weeks, right? Because most likely that's going to be at the showcase for
what's
Microsoft.
Gran Turismo?
Yeah.
Gran Turismo. What is it, Sean?
It
jumps around.
No, there's a 4K with ray tracing mode that nobody plays.
It's only for replays though. I learned this after a while. Yeah, it's like the replays. It cuts the frame rate down and adds ray tracing in.
And there's also a separate graphics and performance mode, and everyone uses performance mode because it's racing.
Yeah.
They're talking about like a lot of how 4K shifts and moves a lot because a lot of it's dynamic and they use lower resolutions, upscaling techniques. But I think the new Forza is going to be 4K locked 60.
Which for the record, like I'm not, bashing developers. I'm just saying, like we're talking about because of the 8K conversation. Use what you got. If you can't max out what you got, what are you moving on to other things for? I would much prefer
that they conquer 4K completely, so the Pro system comes out and it's like no questions asked 4K 60. The problem is you can't market that. That's the problem. Right. So they have to be like, it's 8K now. Oh, and it also does 4K really well. So
isn't 8K on the...
It is on the box of the PS5.
It's on the PS5 box.
The reason it's on the box is because it should have media streaming capabilities whenever that all gets implemented. But that's not going to be for a little while because like bandwidth and these companies figuring it out like Netflix and stuff.
When Jordan gets back, because I know Jordan has his headset on, he can hear us. I thought I heard that most films in Hollywood are even filmed in 2K, so it's not like streaming content can even be visible in 8K. Am I mistaken, Jordan?
It varies. Everything is shot different nowadays. Certain places have standards, what they only shoot in, some don't. So it's all over the place. Not really like a set rule or anything.
The
8K is a million miles away.
The problem is there's so many tests and stuff there's so many online where people are like, which one looks sharper? And half the people in the room say that 4K looks sharper than 8K because they can't tell a difference. So you need a screen. I want to say that's
it's got to be big. Yeah,
it's 100 some odd inches for you're like, okay, that one looks a bit blurrier. I think.
At what point do we say that's enough K?
I think we're here. Right? I think we're there now. Like I think 4K is good enough for a lot of people. I don't know if 8K is that necessary.
4K is like there was an initial difference, obviously, when you had like DVD quality going up to like a Blu-ray quality, right? And then there's like, okay, it can't get better than this, right? And then 4K was able to match something that looks real to what you're looking at in real life. And when you look at 8K right next to it, 8K for some reason just looks better than real life because of all the adjusted, this is extra colorful, there's more pixel density. There's too much to it where 8K will look better than something you're looking at in your hand for some reason.
You know what they need to do now?
Less real.
You know, they need to really get down now, Jordan, is HDR and everything else except for resolution. They just desperately want that marketability when you got to get HDR correct, right? You got to get everything that's going on with audio. Like there's so much stuff to the experience that they just seem to ignore because of how easy it is to just put 4K or 8K on the box. So that's where they need to go with it.
At some point, though,
I honestly think.
Oh, go ahead, Dreamcast.
Oh, I'm sorry. My thing is doing a half-second delay. I'm not meaning to be a jerk. Go ahead, OJ. It's my stupid delay. I'm sorry about that.
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that playing my Xbox Series X Is it doing? Oh God,
you're good. You're good.
I'm sorry.
Good.
Playing on Xbox Series X at 120 frames a second has blown my mind more than seeing 4K visuals. So honestly, I think that I hope pro consoles boost frame rate. I think that's going to make a bigger difference than 8 billion.
They need a better marketing term for high frame rate rather than just saying high frame rate. They need something like
real,
some kind
real
of
motion or something like that.
Yeah,
Blast
true motion,
processing.
Blast processing.
If that wasn't used and someone did, that'd be good. Like how Nintendo called the basic like haptic feedback in the Joy-Con. They called it HD Rumble, and it's like, whoa, I've never felt this before. And it's like, your phone does that. Like it's kind of what it was. So it was that's what they need. They need to figure out how to market it, and then step away from this resolution race.
Oh, that Bud guy in the chat makes sense too, though, because it's we're also restricted to the HDMI's. What's the standard? 2.1. You would kind of need like you said a 3.0 or something, or 2.5 to.
They'll keep building up bandwidth and all of that for those, but I get what you're saying there. Yeah, because like with PC, we're on like DisplayPort and all this.
I get that, man. But the law of diminishing returns is actually real, though. That's like factual that people don't like to factor in. They say, no, everything's like law of diminishing returns is real.
It's there now. I think we're there.
We're there at law of diminishing returns, guys. And that's something, like I said, it's literally factual with this. So it's like, I know this 8K, like what Jordan said, like 8K where it looks like better than what it looks like. And we're like, that's what I don't like that stuff where it's like the colors are so to the point where it looks even. Like, well,
I think 4K with just really good HDR will still give you a similar effect.
Yeah, I like
it anyway. So,
4K with really good HDR is great. I watch 4K movies; they looks great. 4K movies look awesome.
Your OLED,
yeah, OLED, it looks great.
Isn't that kind of like the same school of thought though? Like, I remember watched like a documentary on like why a lot of films are still filmed in like lower frames per second than you would imagine, because
24 is
24.
Yeah, because if you watch in like films that are done at like 60 frames, like people were dizzy and they were getting sick, and it wasn't enjoyable.
They did it with the Hobbit. They did it with
so
Gemini Man a couple years ago.
Yeah, like people were like getting sick. Yeah.
Well, in that mode on
Avatar 2 is doing that as well.
Really?
Buckle up, kids.
That mode on cheaper televisions where it takes the signal if you're watching a movie like on cable or something, and it ups it to 60 frames per second, and it makes everything look weird as fuck.
Yeah,
that's because it creates frames. It has to create frames that aren't really there.
Go away! I don't want that.
The soap opera effect where it looks like everything's it's too smooth and everything.
I was at my grandparents' house watching TV over there on that TV that I bought like last year sometime, and I was like, "Why the fuck does everything look so weird?" I'm like, "Did my food get poisoned or something?" And then I was just like, "Wait, is this?" And I started looking up online, and I was like, "Oh, it is a thing. I'm not fucking losing my mind."
I like seeing these companies once they get this all, because I'm sure they'll push out another more powerful system, but eventually they're gonna have to start looking around at other things. And I like the idea of like what Sony did with the DualSense or what Nintendo did with the Joy-Cons or any of that. Work more into other ways to immerse the player into these things. The 3D audio is really cool, so that kind of stuff. Like, we're just at the point now where the games are gonna look like real life more than they do now, and it's just like, how much
Unreal
further?
Engine 5 stuff is pretty.
How much further?
So
yeah, we'll see.
Like, could you? Never mind.
Oh no.
You know where I was going.
Yeah.
8K that, dude. Like, that's too real. That's too real. Like a butthole wrinkle.
Yeah,
that's too much.
Sean about to buy a PSVR 2 all of a sudden.
Nah, man. No, dude. When I watch that, like, I'm like, if it's like 1080p, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it. It's like, put it at 360p, and it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, you see the needle marks. You're like, okay.
Dude, nah, man, nah.
Jesus.
Like, go to the super chats here. Charlie says, hello again.
40p myself.
Hello again. sorry, I was late to your stream. That's from Charlie.
How dare you?
Tijo says, so did we just conveniently forget about the fourth game Nintendo added to NSO, Umihara Kawase? It's a good game, and I wish we got it in the Western apps.
It is a good game, but we forget it because it didn't release in the Western half.
That is correct. Edward says, with the Xbox showcase just 2 weeks away, what's your most anticipated announced game you want to see, and what's a dream announcement that'll make you jump your seat? Thanks, and have a great weekend.
I just want to see Fable. Show me what Fable's going to look like.
That would do it, OJ? Lost Odyssey? Okay.
Lost Odyssey 2, Blue Dragon 2. Oh my god, I'd freak out.
I thought he said announced.
what's a dream announcement that'll make?
Oh, I thought it was an announced game that we were looking forward to.
Fable. If it's that, yeah, Fable.
I was gonna say Perfect Dark if it was that, just because I'm very curious to see what that looks like.
Okay.
Golden.
Yeah, I like the idea of Golden. Hey,
I just watched that the other day.
It's always possible. GoldenEye could be there in a couple weeks. It's very possible it could happen. Would that make you jump out of your chair, Sean? Is if GoldenEye was there, full multiplayer, it's the remake one that switched between the old visuals and the new ones.
Yeah, I would like that. And really, it's not even so much about that. I would just be happy for modern controls with that game, because this doesn't control all that great.
I played. I mean,
the 20 frames per second. It's a little rough.
I played the remake. MVG did too. He's not here, but
I played it.
It was good.
I played it.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, yeah, it was good.
It's amazing.
I would like the official release on the Series X, 120 FPS, the whole deal, achievements, online play. That would be a lot of fun.
Dude, we got to squad up. I used to actually
we would play that a lot.
in some tournaments of that. I didn't win them, but I competed in them, and I would love to try and kick y'all's asses.
That would be awesome. That'd be a lot of fun.
All golden guns.
Yes, exactly. Or slappers only. That I was
pistols only, one shot, one kill.
Yeah,
Odd Job.
License to kill. Yeah.
No.
Why? He's a character that is selectable in the game.
Do you Odd Job? They do that glitch where you aim and crouch and release aim, and you just pretty much are laying down to be like a waffle with a machine gun cruising up and killing you.
Teacher, announcement that it would be very anticipated for me though is if that deal between Microsoft and Kojima is actually real and they have some sort of concept to share, because I need to know what Kojima would do with having access to the data in the cloud and being able to connect to us at any given time.
Do you really though?
Yeah. Yes. I need to know what terrifying idea he has for that. Can you imagine him having access to all data view online at any given time?
No, I don't want that. He probably tests it out with Jeff. He has like Jeff's house like wired up and has like cameras in there and stuff. You can watch him at any time.
Kojima's gonna come up with some weird idea and I need to know what it is. TJ says, also, can us Vita owners get an F for no longer being able to play PS1, PSP games that were only available via PS3 transfer, like MGS and VC2's DLC? Yeah, it's a shame. I'm telling you, they're slowly winding it down, and I don't even know if they're going to make the announcement like that, like a big announcement. I think they're just going to quietly uncheck the box on their side on the server, and just all of a sudden the PS3 and Vita aren't going to work for the store. And they're going to see how long it takes for people to notice.
Right.
I feel like someone eventually will soft mod it though, like they did with PSP games, which I'm surprised someone hasn't done that. Oh, MVG's not here.
The Vita's been modded, right?
I'm talking soft mod.
Oh, okay.
Because you could soft mod. Like I don't have mine hacked whatsoever. Everything I have is just on a standard Vita, and I could play any PSP game on it. But they don't have it now, so that you can do it with PS1 stuff, which I would like, because God forbid you play those PAL versions.
Oh, we're gonna talk about it. You came in at the right time, Sean. You came at the right time. Talk about that. This is from Trevor. Says, "Where is the OnlyFans RGT? I'm dying without it."
There was a preview in one of the Twitter chats today.
We did get a full preview.
He sent me a nude. Look, let's just get that out there. Yeah, we saw him.
But then Max followed up with a nude. So
yeah. I was wearing mostly pants.
My finger was hovering over the leave chat button. I was just like,
it was very unexpected, but it did spur new content in the form of new channels that we could create.
Sounds like an eventful afternoon. Jeff Grubbs Game Mess says, sorry, but Top Gun Maverick is about to start. Have a great show. That was earlier. Trevor says,
no, Jeff is in the danger zone.
More
I've heard that's
time.
actually some people are saying
a lot
of
like people said it's actually good. Yeah,
I've heard amazing. Yeah,
wasn't Miles Teller in this movie?
Yeah, he does a great job. Like he looks just like Goose, which is pretty cool.
That's impressive. It's probably the best performance he's ever done then, because Miles Teller is a terrible actor.
Well, why you're saying
Miles Teller's excellent, bro? You got trash.
Nate's coming in.
I watched
swinging.
the Fantastic Four, and he fucking sucked.
That is.
I watched him play Vinny Paz, and he sucked.
No, he's doing great in The Offer right now, and he is Top Gun. He's doing great. And he was great in Whiplash. You can't say.
I can't get into The Offer. Something about that show is just not clicking, and I love The Godfather.
The first episode.
I did get past the first episode.
Charlie says, John, we were waiting. Could be lyrics to Spawncast starting soon. Hurry it up, mate. Don't subscribe to Game Pass. It says PlayStation beat Xbox. Let's go. Cope Nate. 4 clown emojis.
What?
I don't know. He put 4 of them. 3 of them showed up. And the other one, like, cut all the way to the bottom on the side. Gotta clean that up. Don't subscribe to Game Pass. Cristobal says, saw Top Gun Maverick. Great nostalgia sequel. Everyone's seeing this, huh? I got Ace Combat 7 Ultimate Maverick Edition on PSN because I am a fighter jet slut. Good pre-show, OJ.
Fighter jet slut.
Rune says, you guys made me try Death Stranding again. It's honestly one of my favorite games now. Thank you.
Stop it. let me try fucking PCP again that I had accidentally when I was a kid.
You will probably
Maybe
like
I'll like
it now.
this time.
You will probably like it now.
Lost my mind running through a fucking Lowe's Hardware screaming for water.
And you know what? You have a good story.
Bad.
You got yourself a
PCP.
good story out of it.
Oh,
Bad, dude. It's bad.
And you won't play through Death Stranding.
I'd rather do PCP again, actually.
Wow.
Damn.
I think you'd like Death Stranding now, Sean.
It was laced in the weed, if anyone is wondering.
I
God.
remember fighting someone that did PCP, bro. I felt like that was like Street Fighter, man. That shit was crazy, man. He was throwing all sorts of punches.
Dude, I had to like
on you.
like it was so bad. Like I was
They go
calling
ghetto haymaker,
people,
Sean. He was like,
and I was like
this.
I need so and so's number, like the real druggy kids, like the addict kids that like nobody really mess with. I was like, because I don't know what I took, and I need someone to help me. And so like I finally got in touch with someone who was like really into it. And he's like, "All right, describe your symptoms." And I tell him my symptoms and shit. It was wild, dude. It sucked ass.
This episode of the Spawncast is brought to you by Lowe's.
No, that's a story that's like, don't do that, right, Sean?
Yeah, don't
There you
no.
go.
Don't do it.
That's the story. That's the moral of the story right there.
Don't do PCP.
There you go.
Try
Don't
Death
do-
Stranding.
Don't do
Yeah,
drugs.
see?
At a time once my buddy was like, let's go buy some weed. So we go to the bad side of town and we go to this guy's apartment and we buy stuff. And we're like, what is this? We go home and he's like, oh, this isn't weed. He sold us a fucking, because he gave it as a brown paper bag. He's like, oh, this is meth. So we go back to the guy's apartment. We're like, hey, I would like a refund and get some marijuana. And the guy was like, I don't know who you are. And I don't know why you're bringing meth in my apartment, but get the fuck out. So we went back home and my buddy was like, well, I guess I'll just go ahead and smoke all this meth. So we just smoked a bunch of meth.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, don't
I
do
did
that.
not partake in any of this. When I was back in the day, we used to drink apple juice. You know what I'm saying? And Lunchables. That's what I did for fun.
MD 2020s and King
We're not-
Cobra.
You could have just
right?
thrown it out, Max. You know that, right?
he was a cheap ass, so he was like, I'm not gonna throw away perfectly good meth.
Perfectly good.
This isn't sponsored, right?
No.
Not anymore.
Okay.
No.
Like DARE, drug
Yes,
abuse
by
resistance
DARE.
education. Did any of you guys have DARE in school?
Yeah.
Almost
Yeah.
Do
every
you
year.
remember
Yeah.
the DARE song that you had to sing?
No.
There's a song?
I remember that shit word for word, and I don't know why.
Sing it.
The world's a different place where lives become a race. And unlike the years of past, our kids grow up too fast. Because what they see in stores is threats of bombs and wars. I'm speeding it up. In that deadly game, they're taught the happiness is brought. The children of today have no time for child's play. They feel they're all alone, even strangers in their home. So to hide the pain and tears, they destroy their youthful years by giving up on love and hugs and escaping into drugs. And then it goes into the chorus. Dare to keep the kids off drugs. Dare to keep the kids off dope. Yeah, people remember. Dare to give the kids some help. Dare to give the kids some hope. Like, I don't know why I remember that, but it was like burned
What?
into my head, dude.
And
What
that
did
is
Lou
why
Albano
you
tell
did a
us
lot of
about
drugs as a
Sean?
kid.
Yeah, it didn't really work on me. I don't remember. Oh, well,
Lou
when he was-
Albano said, we go to hell first.
Oh, yeah, you go to hell before you die.
Yeah, you go to hell before you die.
I love that quote.
And that's when he was his Mario.
Yeah, he's dressed
Yeah.
as Mario. Remember,
Well,
kids,
it's like
if
when
you
they
do
had
drugs,
the-
you go to hell before you die.
when WWF had like the cigarette stuff, and you had like Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty like, "Hey kids, don't be smoking cigarettes." It's like, dude, you probably just smoked crack before this interview, Marty. calm your tits there, buddy. All right, sorry, move on.
Agent Redbeard
That was a
says,
very long song.
What if this is the moment we get like DMCA struck? It's just
I
Sean
dare.
singing.
I dare.
DARE still exists. They're against bullying now. They are a bullying organization now.
Okay.
Drugs are fine. Bullying, not so much.
which is more important to you? Graphics, sound, engineering, story? Can't say all. I think sound might be mine now. Seems graphics kind of plateaued.
I'd say story. I actually play a lot of games muted. If I'm replaying stuff, I replay stuff muted while listening.
Oh, replaying.
Yeah, I can see a story that's out of those three. Yeah, probably story then. Jason says, what is a game that you did not like when you first played, but came back to later on and loved? Not like when I first played, but came back to it.
Kirby, I don't think I replay things a lot. I mean, I liked the first Horizon, but I was like, I think I approached the second one differently than the first one, and I liked it way more. But that's
Enter the Matrix.
Hell yeah.
Renting it, I didn't really like it, and then I played it like a couple years ago, and I was like, I love this game.
Really? Enter the Matrix? Okay, but Path of Neo is better, right?
Path of Neo is better, but I like how Enter the Matrix was like canon, and like it had like an hour of like canon stuff in it. By the way, I finally watched The Matrix 4. Fell asleep. Can't tell you a damn thing about it.
I am gonna agree. Someone mentioned Final Fantasy 13. I will actually say that because I think I don't think the game's as bad as people say it is.
It's not as bad, but that story
and I wasn't the biggest fan of it when I was first playing it, and then I ended up going back later on in the 360's life. And I was like, all right, this isn't bad.
I've tried to like it over the years. I've played and beat it twice. I've beat the whole trilogy. It's the thing about it is that the other games came out. I think Lightning Returns came out, and people were like, oh, I guess Final Fantasy 13 is not that bad, because Lightning Returns is terrible. It's got some really good aspects to it, but it's not a good game. So I think that people went back and I guess it's not
fell
that
out of that.
bad.
I fell out of that series after the second one, 13-2, and I'm like,
13-2 is the most.
This has gone off the rails for me.
Non-crappy-ish.
I like it. I like 13-2. Genuinely, I like 13-2.
You know, it's like it's where they tried to fix the issues with the first one, but then they didn't go off the rails. Like Lightning Returns is literally off the rails. So I think 13-2 is a good balance between the three games. But yeah, Final Fantasy has seen better days and will see better days than those games. But no,
this is from the Uncharted Wolf saying, what's the farthest you've gotten into a game without beating it? I got to the last mission of Cyberpunk before it crashed, and I decided it's not worth it.
Without beating?
The furthest you got into a game without beating it.
I guess Xenoblade 2.
You said you played the game for 18 hours.
Yeah.
That's not, you were nowhere near beating it.
I know, but like I wasted 18 hours of my life, and then I decided, I'm not going to play it anymore.
I'm going to say for you, Sean, it's got to be Halo Infinite.
Why? Because I never played the campaign?
Well, because the hours you racked up in it, if you just touch that campaign right now, that's got to be it.
Maybe.
If you even just drop into the world.
Yeah, I'm not interested in doing that.
The campaign's it's not bad. It's interesting to play.
Has it got co-op yet? Can I play with a friend? No? Okay, then.
First time I had... the first time I tried to play freaking Final Fantasy X, I got a PS2 and I got the strategy guide, and I was trying to do everything before I beat Sin. I got all the way to the last boss. I had all the god weapons. I had everything, and somebody broke into my house and stole my PlayStation 2. And I was so pissed I didn't even try and play Final Fantasy X for like 10 years after that. I was like, I'm not doing it again.
Okay. Let's talk about these PlayStation Plus games. This is because Digital Foundry even released their video. I don't know if you guys watched that as well. I think John Linneman took a look at it. So the service is rolling out in different parts of the world. Specifically, I know in parts of Asia, it's rolled out. And they do have a couple, like Wild Arms is in there, and they definitely didn't tell us that was in there until it just released. So
good game.
Yes, I am wondering if, for example, our selection, when it does roll out in the US, North America in June, will be different in some way, like in terms of game selection. I don't know. Well, it also kind of matters because the games might be different in terms of how they're running. We're not sure yet, but at this time, the emulation is like shockingly poor in terms of what they learned from the PlayStation Classic, which appeared to be not much of anything. And that's the part that confuses me the most.
And I'd be willing to give you the benefit of the doubt that maybe the US will get the NTSC versions, but there's no indication of that because they're releasing in Asian regions, which are NTSC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
The only place that was PAL is in Europe.
Yeah.
So why would they like? It makes no sense. And to further elaborate, which I talk about in tomorrow's video, make sure you go watch it. They did an update. Did you see the update?
Yes, I did.
The update was
They
to
added
make
interpolated frames, whatever.
Yeah, and then it causes ghosting out the ass on it. They're not doing the 60 hertz versions. And here's my theory as to why. Because Jim Ryan, he's some sort of British, isn't he?
What?
Isn't he European?
He is from Europe, yes.
Okay. So he's just being a hard ass about it. He's like, well, these are the versions I played as, an adult.
Jim Ryan played a video game?
As a young adult, and these are the versions I want. So these are the versions we're doing.
Well,
I think
that's what it is.
I thought the assumption
for the American Revolution.
My guess, and I could be dead wrong, but my guess about it was that in a lot of cases, the PAL region ones are the highest version code. So like sometimes America will get like a version 1.03. And then when it goes out in PAL, because they come out with extra language patches and stuff, it'll technically be like 1.04. So I think maybe just inside of Sony, they think of there's the most updated version, even though it sucks.
Yeah, that's been some of the speculation online. Another reason they would go with PAL is because of the language options. It has the most language available on that version versus NTSC.
That's such a drawback, though, with it looked, when we were seeing a Digital Foundry doing it, it looked really bad. Like the way that the motion was and the frame timing, that's something you would actually feel when you're playing it.
Well, especially with that golf, people are testing out the Hot Shots golf specifically because when you hit the ball, the camera goes very fast. With the new patch, they tried to, instead of upping the frame rate, they put in like in between blur frames. And when that ball goes fast, the entire screen is just a smear. It's like, what the hell?
That's a shame. Because there was already a lot of criticism around the PS2, PS4 remastered games with that emulation, and it just doesn't. It's just so weird that they have such a hard time getting emulation right as a large company when you see most free emulators that just do it so much better.
Yeah, I've been playing it on my Retro Pi. I actually played all the games on the list to record what they would look like in a great format, and it's crazy that the Retro Pi, those games look insanely good on emulators and look terrible officially by Sony.
I wanted MG to be here because I'm curious if there's anything Sony can do, because this isn't going to be like the PlayStation Classic where they sell it and they can just move on and be like, well, that was a thing, and then just walk away.
They
from
did.
It.
They did the patch.
I mean, they could do what Nintendo does. Nintendo with NSO in European countries, they offer them a 60 hertz version, and they have the option to do 50 hertz if they want to have that nostalgia trip. Yes. Sony has that capability as well. They're just opting not to do it. They're taking a lazier route in their approach to this service, and this is the end result.
I mean, Jim Ryan literally said who plays old games anyway.
It's true.
So it's not like it's a high priority for them.
But this is now the reason. I mean, what's the reason that the premium tier is being pushed right now? Like, what is holding it up? I can't imagine it's the game trials, and I can't imagine it's the streaming PS3 games.
Could be.
I think part of this is just because it is such a requested fan feature. Like inside the entire Sony bubble, people have just been saying, give us any way to play your old games. You have all these great old games. And it just feels like they're finally just throw us a bone to shut us up. And it's just the most lazy version of it.
It's a shame too, because it could have been really cool if these came out and they were like fully 4K. Their frame rate was actually better in terms of like, they could have been higher frame rate. Like what we'll see Xbox do things with backwards compatibility that's actually like really impressive when it comes to like, if you look at Knights of the Old Republic was a good one. When that came over backwards compatible, they also had the frame rate be at a solid 60 on, I think it was like the Xbox One S and X and everything. The resolution was higher and just looked a lot better. It's so weird that they're struggling with just PS1 games, just emulating them correctly. And then Nate, you say that this is them just taking the easy way out, not being as, I guess, just
they're not being proactive,
dedicated to it.
It just seems like they're looking at saying, kind of like Max mentioned, they're looking at the highest version build, saying, okay, that's the best version. We don't care. Upload it, get people to subscribe to the service or buy the game standalone, and we'll reap the rewards from it.
Yeah, that's a shame.
I mean, we've seen Sony do this time and time again with other products. I mean, look at the iToy. Came to market, they came out with a few games, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we came out with that thing." Same with the PlayStation Vita. Yeah, they gave it 2 years of support, and then they're like,
"But this is
we don't like you."
To me, this is different because it's gonna follow them going forward, like forever, maybe, because it's part of the subscription service, and they have to update this service every single month. It sounds like, according to them. So they're going to continuously have to remind themselves just how poor the emulation is.
Maybe if criticism is loud enough when they begin to emulate a new round of, classic software, they will take the NTSC version as priority. And that will be the ones that we see added to the service moving forward outside of this initial launch lineup. But I mean, that's something that remains to be seen. I'm not in the position to give them the benefit of the doubt that that is what they're going to implement. Because if they really cared, they would have done that in the immediate. And if it's going to take outcry for them to do what is right, and as we mentioned earlier, they should just give the option. If you're in the PAL regions, here's the version you grew up with, but here's a superior form of play. There is no reason in 2022 a 50 hertz version of a game should be the only means of playing a title on a classic service.
Yeah. Did they say why? Like they're not doing the other.
No, there's no official reason behind it.
And like the ones that we're getting, it's going to be the same thing. It's not going to be the one that we got.
We don't know yet. I mean,
why would they tell you?
Why would they tell?
Like, I feel like they have a reason to. They don't.
I feel like they should. I feel like if they were going to be, because they have to be hearing feedback from this. Obviously, that's the whole reason. See, the whole problem is that I feel like refutes every point of them potentially doing 60 hertz versions of the games here is that goddamn patch that they just did to make it seem 60 frames. Like there's no reason to do that if you don't plan on doing that everywhere. You know what I'm saying? They can go to there's this website called romhustler.org. You can download the fucking ISO on there and get the proper ISO. Like, just do that. I don't understand it, dude.
It's strange that even Nintendo is like, yeah, no, not the 50 hertz. We're not doing that.
I mean, we do have to wait for it to launch in other regions to see how it releases in North America. It's just the fact that they launched this in Asian regions with PAL versions of these games, which otherwise these regions would have got NTSC builds of these games, is what is baffling. And that's what is causing a lot of the confusion right now. And the doubt that when it is released in North America, that we're going to have pure NTS build. With the PlayStation Classic, we also had a handful of games that were PAL based. So there's just no reason to assume that Sony is going to release that product here and have it, match our nostalgia. Right now, we could potentially play the, Ape Escape as we've never played it before. It's going to feel off from muscle memory, and it's not going to be a pleasant experience.
Hey, you just got to get the PS1 digital and get the X Station. You're good to go.
Well, that's part of what's weird about this is that they did seemingly the PlayStation emulator that they built over at Sony headquarters. It does seem to upscale very good. In fact, I've seen some side-by-side comparisons specifically with Ape Escape that look better than a lot of the emulators on RetroPie and stuff. It looks great. That's why it's weird that they just borked the hell out of the frame rate.
Yeah, I thought they would have taken this a lot more seriously because it's part of their premium subscription service, $120 a year. But it doesn't seem like they did. So I mean, we'll see how it rolls out here. But yeah, I'm with Sean and leaning towards the idea of it just being what we're seeing now, just here. Like that's kind of it. Maybe they'll have it in maybe a different lineup and maybe a few extra games thrown in there with the rollout, because technically we'll be a month late. Like they have to do it new games
monthly.
Yeah, so like
you should have a new batch of games included.
Yes, yeah, because parts of Asia now that have it should expect more games next month. Then
maybe that's why it's not so like, because they have to get games out every single month. Like they have to keep on pumping these games out. Maybe is that the reason why things are kind of maybe not as optimized, or is because like Microsoft never had a timetable for their stuff, right? They just kind of did it,
dropped them,
yeah, whenever. So
I have seen that theory. I've also seen some people say that's why Sony is not requiring developers to put trophies on it, is just because they're worried about having games out. They're kind of like, all right, as long as it's on the service, as long as it's on the list, that's all we want. We just want signups.
Sean, notice that MVG's not here.
Yeah, it's ducking me.
He's and we have the third-party state of play coming up where Silent Hill could be there. So he ducked Nate too.
He's a coward.
Ducking a vintage gamer.
You know, I am Paul Revere of the Spawncast, and he is the British.
MVG just has moved 5 times in the last like 3 months, just so just to keep dodging, ducking and dodging. Man,
I see a lot of people in the chat saying, "Oh, you're wrong. This region was PAL. That region was PAL." That's fine. The problem is this: there are 60 hertz games available that are third-party games on the service. There's no rhyme or reason for Sony to have included a 50 hertz version of the game and then patched it to make it seem like it's 60 hertz.
Gotta be careful. Sean's got a scepter and a crown right next to his chair, so when they launch this thing next month, if it shows up 50 hertz, he'll wave those around.
Like there's a method to the madness, you know. If that patch didn't happen, I would give you a little bit more leeway. You know, I would say, okay, well, you know, that is a possibility. The patch, so that throws everything sort of out the window for me.
Yeah. Well, we'll say. I mean, Dino Crisis was on the front page at one point, apparently. Is it that or is Exo Primal? By the way, you guys realize that the younger audience now is going to know that character as an Exo Primal character, not Dino Crisis?
No one's going to know what Exo Primal is.
It's not Regina, is it? They didn't call her Regina.
No, she just looks exactly like her.
Oh, yeah.
And
totally.
fights dinosaurs.
It was really funny. We'll see. Hey, next month it's rolling out. I think 3rd week here, so I'm sure we'll all be checking it out. I mean, it'll be interesting.
Nate, what are you doing? Why are you humming? Is this?
I was humming "Band on the Run" because MVG's on the run.
We got to get you a better mic. That was just insanely bad sounding.
I always thought that song was "Man on the Run."
So did I. I thought that's what that was.
No, it is "Band on the Run."
Evan, you want to hit us with Discord question?
Do you think movie/TV adapted video game series should do an original story with the cast or follow the main plot points of the?
This is having to do, I assume, with the Halo show.
Halo, Uncharted, pretty much anything.
What a sad day it is for Halo with that.
Do we need so many TV shows based on? What the fuck are you doing with a Gran Turismo show?
That's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be really funny, won't it?
Fast and Furious movies have lasted like 20 years, and now they're in space. You can do anything with Gran Turismo.
Well, the thing is, Fast and Furious isn't about cars anymore. It's just a standard. It's a standard action flick.
What do you mean? It's about family. That's all it's about.
Family.
Did you ever see? Someone made a meme where it said that technically the Vin Diesel and the Fast crew are stronger than the Avengers because the Avengers lose more than the Dominus crew. So it's like technically they just challenged Thanos to like a drifting competition and whip his ass.
In the next film, his grandma comes in.
If these shows end up like this Halo thing, just don't even do them.
I mean,
leave it at the door.
Some people, I think that you should stick as close to the game as possible. Have y'all been looking at there's tons and tons of set leaks for Last of Us, and it seems like they're literally just beat for beat, shot for shot, the abandoned store. That's
because Neil Druckmann is like working on it with them.
Yeah, he
Halo, that there was the person who played Master Chief was like, I don't know what am I supposed to do?
So like,
they didn't know much about. They didn't play the games, nothing. And it's like, well, this is going to be amazing, I'm sure.
It's like, I have a question, right? Like, I know you want to appeal to a broader audience and you want to bring new people in. You want to get them attracted maybe to your series, but like, wouldn't you want to kind of have the best of both worlds where you put a little bit more research in or pick a little bit more of a specific team to where you please both the hardcore fans and a new broader general audience? And my other thing too is, we were talking about this the other day on my stream, is I think more people would probably enjoy the show if it was Halo-esque, but not Halo. Like when you watch a show, it's like, man, this really seems like it's inspired by Halo, or this really reminds me of a Halo. I feel like people, maybe that'd be harder to get people to watch the show at first, but I feel like if you approach the marketing the right way or approach the right, teams or news outlets, you could have IGN be like, yo, if you love Halo, you'll love this show because this reminds you of something like Halo. Like, I feel like that would be a better way to approach it versus being like, this is Halo, and people are like, no, it's not.
I would have much preferred this Halo show to not have Master Chief as the main character. I'd rather them have just made an original character,
completely different,
and have it so that Master Chief is like this big mystical figure that
that'd be cool.
Finds their way to the battlefield and stuff.
And
it's supposed to be like they're obviously overpowered by the Spartans, like these cadets and everything. They've had shows they did that before, like one-offs, and it worked so much better than what they did here. Like Master Chief. They tried to ruin his character. That's all I know. Yeah, it was bad. Well, so like
they partly succeeded from how people describe it.
They kind of did, unfortunately.
He used his thruster jets. No, but my thought is that definitely, I think the idea of it would have been better if I think the marketing should have, like, if anything, hyped up the Covenant more. I wish there was more battles in the show and stuff. And if the marketing had been like Halo is not about a Halo. It's about a battle that's impossible. An alien race with foreign technology, a humanity that's not prepared except for one man who is built for a different mission. Can he succeed? Master Cheeks is thrusting into movie screens and Paramount Plus,
Or they could have started off. They could have started off with like the Fall of Reach or followed Chief when he first started, as a kid, worked way up and all that. I don't know. There's a lot of things they could have done, and somehow they did the worst thing possible. So there you go. You got another.
Nate mentioned knowledge of a Castlevania game in development. Would you want to see a third entry in the Sorrow series, considering they thrived on Nintendo handhelds?
I want them to just do a 2D Castlevania, high quality. Just go for it. Like how we got Metroid Dread. Do something like that with Castlevania. Take a shot. Konami can just license it out. Who wants to make it? There you go. We'll pick up the check in a year or something like that.
The fact that they never got, no, it was already too late for them with Mercury Steam, but they made the one on the 3DS, which was okay, but
great game.
You think that's something that Nintendo would actually like work with Konami on? Would they come to them and be like, "Hey, let's make a Castlevania game for the Switch"?
They work with them on they work with them on the 3DS one. That was because of Nintendo and Konami and Mercury Steam all worked together for that one. To get that made, that was like the idea. Nintendo was like, "Hey, check this out."
You figure if Konami was open to it, Nintendo would be like,
Nintendo would be open to it.
Why not?
I think they would be open to a 2D, like if it was exclusive or timed exclusive.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Switch, yeah. I think they'd be open. I think they'd be open to it. Castlevania it's still classic. It could still it can still do well. People still like Castlevania. The Advanced Collection did well, so I don't.
The animated show did really well too, right? People feel like it was.
I wonder if it would cost less to make a Castlevania game like that than Bayonetta, and potentially sell more than Bayonetta.
I don't know if it sold more than Bayonetta, but
how much did Bayonetta 2 sell?
Well, that was on the Wii U. That was the problem.
Because I'm thinking Castlevania, if it was good enough and actually legitimate, 2-3 million copies.
Well, because the best selling Castlevania is Lords of Shadow, and that's that's not the 2D Castlevania. The 2D Castlevanias didn't sell as well as Lords of Shadow, the 3D one that people liked, but people were like, eh. And then
I hated
Lords of Shadow 2 was already done.
It was. I don't even know. I can't remember what Symphony of the Night sold.
Symphony of the Night, it did under 1 million. Lords of Shadow was by far the best selling Castlevania game.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm sure Symphony of the Night, if you count all the versions of Symphony of the Night, it probably did maybe better. If you count every version.
Did they have lifetime sales of it? Because that thing released a couple times.
Yeah, Konami ain't doing shit. Quit.
Yeah, they're not going to tell us lifetime sale. They don't tell us.
Hey, they're bringing us the Turtles collection, Sean. Come on.
They're not doing anything that requires effort. And I believe that's more Nickelodeon. Hey, fuckos, we want to make some money off of Turtles.
They don't have to do any work. No. They just hand off the hey, when Silent Hill shows up, Nate's gonna be bringing back.
But Konami's not making that either.
Yeah, Konami's not making it.
No, but they would have to license it out. That's all we're saying for Castlevania. That's what just picks up the check at the end.
Well, I mean, with Turtles, they're publishing it. They went to Digital Eclipse to make it. Nickelodeon was like, yeah, this is a good idea, and Konami did come out with that train game in Japan that sold 4 million copies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Momotaro or something. What was it?
Yeah, it's one of the biggest releases.
Konami making moves out there. See, Sean, see? Huh?
And they came out with a baseball game on the Switch this year.
Konami's so weird. There's such a weird company, but they said they were. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do. I just hope
Do something with Castlevania.
Yeah, something with Castlevania.
Do something with Metal Gear.
I mean, like a true, like, even if they did like Symphony of the Night, like, and just make another game that was like that, but just like a new one, that'd be dope too.
That'd be cool. I'd buy that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You'll get Castlevania 64 on Switch Online.
I would take that.
Yeah, I would unironically.
I'd play it again.
There's a cult fan
that game.
There's a cult fan base behind that game. The first one, there's a cult fan base behind.
And they need to be put on an FBI list.
You ever actually just buy junk food where you're not even hungry, but you're like, you know what? I bet I could just put one Taco Bell taco down my slutty throat before I even taste it, and it'll be great. That's what Castlevania
I like to
64
savor
is.
my food.
No, I like.
You also eat
does this
Taco Bell.
comment mean? Eduardo Nunez, Nate, you look like a Konami.
I
mean,
what?
Turn that cam on. Prove them wrong, Nate.
You're not there. That's what he means. You're not there. You're not showing your face. You're not showing up, and that's exactly
a voice in the dark.
This is from PC saying
45% of people said they wouldn't buy a Dreamcast Mini for $100.
Yes, I'm one of them.
Evan wouldn't buy it for $1.
Wait, the internet says one thing, that means it's gonna sell really well. Hold up.
PC says Sony is going to announce PC ports for sure. Jermaine says, do any one of you guys know what happened to Silk Song? I've been waiting a year for news, but there's nothing out. What do you guys think?
We're all waiting.
They're chilling, doing stuff.
Yeah.
Chilling. They're still making the game. They're still doing it. It's coming.
I think that's been upgraded to like full Nintendo Direct territory at this point.
That was upgraded to a full Direct territory like 3 years ago.
It's too big for the indie showcase now. Absolutely.
You also have to keep in mind they're a development team of like 5.
It's like 4 or 5. Yeah, it's not many.
Sure.
Too bad
they're hanging out.
Never mind.
What is it, Sean?
I was gonna say, too bad you can't hire more people. You made a lot of. I mean, Hollow Knight did very well.
They don't want to split. I mean, they don't want to split that money though. When you start hiring more people, when the amount of money that they're about to make when this game drops, it's gonna be a lot. And they're not gonna split, and they don't want to split it.
John is the cheapest motherfucker I've ever known, and he's like, they should spend money on this game.
Tinker says Sonic Socks announcement.
Sonic Socks, okay.
Brayden said, I bought a PS3 Slim. What are some must-have games?
Metal Gear Solid 4.
Puppeteer. Puppeteer was a good one. 3D Dot Game Heroes. I like 3D Dot Game Heroes just because, well, it's from Atlas, but it's also a very weird game for the
But you're also naming games that are triple digits.
Yeah, you're telling us got to buy like a $200 game.
Yeah.
Puppeteer now. Puppeteer's that much?
Puppeteer
is 3D Dot Game
Puppeteer's triple digits, I want to say.
Hold on. I have one they can get that I think is cheap. Let me just double check to make sure it's cheap.
Infamous 1.
I got to make sure it's not Yeah, Infamous 1 and 2.
Infamous 2?
Yeah, Infamous is cheap.
I will recommend Spec Ops: The Line.
Ooh, good, yeah. I like Killzone.
It's $15.
Killzone's fun.
And it's still stuck in that generation.
God of War 3. You could probably skip Ascension.
Yes.
You should get the God of War Saga. You would get the first 2. You get the original trilogy plus the PSP games.
Gravity Rush.
Yeah.
Wait,
Gravity Rush was on PS4.
They did it on
Oh,
they did it
yeah, it was.
remastered,
Never
and then they did 2 on the PS4.
Yeah, there's Gravity Rush on the PS Vita, the original, then remastered on the PS4, then Gravity Rush 2.
I mean, you get the Jack and Daxter, the Sly Cooper collection.
Yeah, Sly Cooper. Nothing's happened with Sly Cooper since the PS3, so you'd have to go to that for it.
No, there isn't. No, there's something on the There's no like PS4 collection or anything like that.
There was the one on the Vita, the Thieves in Time.
Nothing on the PS4. Yeah, isn't that weird? People forget like Sly Cooper's not really had much in a long time. That's why
he's coming back though, isn't he?
That's why the Sly Cooper 5 rumors was kind of hit online because people were like, "Wait a minute, we haven't seen Sly Cooper in a long time."
Sly Cooper came back. What would they have the same gameplay loop as last time, or would they do something?
No, it'd be a cinematic action adventure game with a deep narrative.
I'm picturing it like Ratchet and Clank, where it's not like a super long game, and it like Ratchet and Clank looked good, but it's clear they didn't put like ridiculous amounts of money into that game, like compared to what like Horizon cost them.
Problem with Sly Cooper is
around there.
Who do you give it to? The original developers have been doing Ghost of Tsushima, so they're not going to make Sly Cooper anymore. They did they've moved beyond Sly Cooper. So do do you give it to an external studio like Sanzuru Games again?
Yeah, you'd have to give it to somebody because Sony's not going to give it to one of their, their big dog teams.
That's a good question. Who else would make it? I don't know. Platformer. That's tough. Is
the new Sony even interested in something like that? I don't know. After the Jim Ryan's comments, what he's been talking about recently, I just
still feel like they need that variety thrown in there a little bit, because if all your games do kind of feel like that same camera position, that same third person over the shoulder narrative, it gets a little samey.
Jack and Daxter's been gone for a long time.
Greatest game ever.
Jack and Daxter's been gone for how long now? And I don't think. Are they going to bring it back?
Nah, fuck them.
I don't think Sony cares.
Well, and also, Naughty Dog loves making the most adult hardcore games ever. If Jack and Daxter comes back now, it's about
occasionally we still get like a concrete genie.
Yeah, but that's not like big time. That's like,
I know it's smaller, but like they still at least have their thought, like looking at it like, we could do something with medieval. Let's just do a little.
Or maybe they bring it back like a Little Big Planet, people didn't like that game. I know, like the Little Big Planet game though.
I still think it's a good idea to do these kind of things for them though, just to see if they can continue building up their mascots, I guess you'd say, because it's like Kratos isn't like Spider-Man to them. Like Spider-Man is like their mascot, which is weird because it's not technically theirs, but you see Spider-Man, you think of PlayStation, so it's in the consoles. They got to figure that out though. I still think Astro was a great mascot for him. He's got to push him.
Astro?
Push him off the cliff.
Astro. Definitely Astro. Astro has like the PlayStation colors and everything now. Look at the PS5.
That's just not the type that they're going for right now though.
You can't put it. It's not gonna be Joel or Ellie or anything like that. People are not gonna know what's going on.
It's Spider-Man and it's Kratos.
It's great when
you know what the main character's name from Ghost of Tsushima is half the time.
Yeah, it's great when your mascot isn't even necessarily from your IPs. It's just like from this whole other thing over here. You're like, yeah, it's this guy. You know him.
What was the main question again? Something about PS3?
Recommendations. I said Spec Ops: The Line. We said Infamous. They got to do Infamous too. Infamous
what about
Turning Point? Fall of Liberty.
Dishonored.
Dishonored's on there.
Yeah.
You can do Dishonored.
Prototype. I know a lot of people hate on Prototype, but I like it.
First Prototype's fun.
No, it's fun. First one was fun. Yeah. Let's see. This is Sean saying by the way, with that PS3 Slim Brain, I just want to make you aware, you can also put a PS1 game in there. It'll work, the disc. So that library is open as well. Sean says, as an Xbox only user, PS Plus looks like a great way to get into the PS ecosystem. Is a PS4 Pro a good value now, or should I shell out for a PS5? The PS4 Pro is not that much cheaper than a PS5 digital, for example, right now. So I would still, a PS4 Pro I think is still $300 online. So I would just go for the PS5 if you can find it. They're supposed to be producing more this year coming up. So hold out, get a PS5 next to God of War. That's the move. Or if they do that Horizon bundle, that's the one to go with. Tinker says, I know Sega is not Atlas, but 13 Sentinels PC. They moved it to Switch. So maybe. BR said, had to come on real quick and say, I recently saw the Sonic 2 movie and I love it more than the first. Seeing Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, and Eggman made the kid in me go absolutely nuts for it.
Yeah, it was great.
And then BR follows up saying, also, what are the cast thoughts on Sonic 2 and hopes for a Sonic 3 movie?
I haven't seen it.
Sonic 2 is great. I love it. Some people didn't like the dance scene. That was actually one of my favorites. I like the fact that they just keep stopping the entire plot to be goofy, and I feel like that's what Sonic would want to do. They're not in a hurry to solve the problem. They're just like hanging out, and that's what made it fun.
Thomas says, would the Dreamcast Minis controllers be mini too? You know what? That's something Sega would probably do. That's like that right there.
Godforsaken Game Gear Mini.
I'm getting the game. We keep mentioning I have the Game Gear Mini.
Nerd says, to OJ, I rage quit Xenoblade Definitive Edition when it launched and sold it, bought it back, and I'm loving it on the second try. To the whole crew, what game that you hated was better on the second try? I think we actually talked about that same question from Discord. James says, hey RGT, what match are you most looking forward to at Double or Nothing?
I don't even get to see it because I'm gonna be at my uncle's stupid party.
Can't they put it on?
Yeah, aren't they gonna have it on TV? They seem like
pay-per-view. my cheap uncle, there's no way in hell.
You do it. It'll make their day.
Be drunk. Well, yeah, he will be like drunk and stoned in a corner of the house somewhere, probably. As far as the pay-per-view is concerned,
at the corner, Blair Witch style.
Yes, good reference.
These parties are bizarre, especially at night, because like there's one Irish dude, and like every year he gets a little bit closer and a little bit closer to like jumping into the bonfire. Like, I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm gonna fucking do it. Everyone's like, no, don't, Patty, don't jump. I'm gonna fucking do it. And I think this might be the year. So we'll find out. I would say the Jericho Appreciation Society versus the Blackpool Combat Club.
Okay. Chief says, if Sony and Microsoft release a mid-gen refresh, do you think they would release both a digital and physical edition of the console?
Maybe. If they can get away with it, they will.
RGT84 says, hi, John, I'm a simp. What's your favorite GameCube game? My favorite GameCube game? That is a...
Enter the Matrix.
Enter the Matrix. That is a good question. I've been playing Mario Strikers actually a lot recently. That's probably because Strikers is coming up.
That's a good one.
Say Melee. Melee's good.
I kind of want to say Metroid Prime.
Ooh.
I might stick with Metroid Prime right now.
It sure as hell isn't a Mario game on there.
True story.
No, Mario Sunshine is my favorite GameCube game. You could go with Mario Party though. Mario Party has a lot of good memories, and those are like the best. Those are the best
Mario Party 5, Mario Party 6. Yeah,
it has the best lineup. Yeah, no question. Yeah. It's way better than that 64-bit system.
Oh,
yeah, I'm gonna stick with. I almost wanted to go with Day of Reckoning because I enjoyed Day of Reckoning a lot back then. Sticking with sticking with my first choice.
Fire Emblem and Metroid. You know, most great Nintendo systems have Fire Emblem and Metroid.
Wind Waker was really good though. Wind Waker is really good though.
Fire Emblem and Metroid's great.
There
I don't know
Wind
what
Waker,
systems have.
Twilight Princess, Mario Kart Double Dash.
I mean, I'd rather play a great Mario game and a great Zelda game than
Mario Galaxy 2 was
Zero.
Mario 64.
I'm pretty sure GameCube has 2 great Zelda games. I'm almost positive.
I'm sure N64 has 2 great ones, arguably greater.
Does it have a great Metroid and Fire Emblem game?
Doesn't need to. It has GoldenEye. It has great wrestling games.
That's a no. How about no?
Not every system has to have every game on it.
Fire Emblem and Metroid would be nice.
But the Super NES didn't have a great Fire Emblem game, at least not in the West.
It did. Well, you can still play it. And it had one of arguably the best Metroid games.
What did LeBron James say?
Yeah, exactly. Go to LeBron James.
What? I must have missed the great Fire Emblem game on the Wii U. That must have not been a thing.
I liked Sands of Time. Sands of Time was really good,
one.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Fee.
Oh, Ikaruga was on there. I forgot about that. That was a good one too. I was looking
originally on Dreamcast.
Sands of Time. Sands of Time was really good.
I mean, GameCube did have Odama.
GameCube got Skies of Arcadia. Like,
best game ever.
God, we're gonna be here forever.
Daniel says Dreamcast guy's background looks like a GBA turning into a Digivice.
That's what I'm going for.
It's just me.
play my Game Boy in the Game Boy verse.
Fish fan says, welcome to the show. Are you seeing any good eats this week? Also, have you decided to up your t-shirt game, and how's Jima? Much love.
Jima's good. She came over Monday, and like I got a text when I woke up, and it was like, I'll be there at 10:30. And I looked at my phone, it was 10:20, and I was like, fuck. So I was like, I'll just leave the door open for you because I need a shower. And so like I showered and all this stuff. She didn't show up till like 11:30. I was like, what the fuck happened at 10:30? I got caught up doing other stuff. I was like, but she did bring me what did she bring? Oh, she brought me some steaks. She was like, I went to the grocery store. Here's some steaks. So I got some fresh steaks and some pasta.
Nice. Nice. Okay. Lem says, anybody can't stand quick resume on Series X. Most times I open a game on that feature, it starts glitching out. I end up doing a restart. I have to do that with Halo. If I do Halo quick resume, it's just all messed up. I had to quit out and go back in. Mostly that one though. The other ones are okay. I think it's because Halo is like a multiplayer game, so it's like trying to connect, but it's like,
would it be with like the online stuff, like syncing up on like updated lists and stuff?
Yeah, because they change the challenges like constantly on
They
there.
rotate, yeah.
With like Skater XL, that thing is always in quick resume on the other Xbox. I never had an issue with it.
The regular skate games, there's always a every time I quick resume them, it just does like this fast forwarding thing, like 100 times fast forwarding.
Oh
It makes
yeah.
everything super fast. It's really funny. Only lasts like a minute.
Earl says, I have the Switch OG for almost 4 years now. Is it worth it to upgrade to the OLED, or should I hold out for that rumored Switch Pro by next year? I mean, if you're all handheld, maybe, but I would wait at least a little bit to see if Nintendo decides to make a move on anything.
Agreed.
I mean,
There's no point.
Yeah.
Good luck even finding one. I've been trying to find some for gifts for the longest time, and I can't find a single one anywhere in like a freaking 50-mile radius.
You know what's weird? The Walmart near me always has the Animal Crossing Switch.
Yeah, I mean,
it's always there.
That one, and then the red and blue Joy-Con, but I can't find an OLED.
Oh yeah, no, but it's always the Animal Crossing. There's like 2 of them there. I don't get it.
Hey, bro, I haven't seen nothing, but everybody in my area, there's a bunch of people that just play video games all day. So
yeah,
because there's nothing to do here, so people just play video games.
Tinker says
no grass. I just spilled the Dr. Pepper all over my wiener. God, I'm an idiot.
I just want the Trails in the Sky series or games on modern consoles. Little says, could Nintendo release a powered up dock that would make the Switch next gen and keep the current library open for years to come? I feel like that question's been asked since the Switch came out, and I think we've most come to the determination that probably not. No.
USB is not quick enough.
Exactly. Dylan says, when does everyone think we're gonna get a GTA 6, or if we're gonna get one? Even we're getting one. They already said we are. 2024,
2045.
Yeah,
2024 sounds right.
Massive says, surprised that you don't like 13.2, especially with all the similarities to Chrono Trigger in terms of gameplay. You know what? Maybe I'll go back and try it again. It's backwards compatible. There you go.
Do not put Chrono Trigger in Final Fantasy 13-2.
I'll come out the other side and be like, this is better.
They're basically the same game, OJ. Stop it.
I was wrong about Final Fantasy 13-2. OJ's shocked face.
Put Chrono Trigger next to it.
Why would you put those two in the same sentence? That is blasphemous. I'm about to go Stephen A here. It is ridiculous that anybody would do that.
13.3 is like it's like Chrono Cross though, so that's pretty cool.
That's Lightning Returns, and that's even worse.
Boy says, I just ordered a brand new LG C2 for my PS5. Took a chunk out of my wallet, but I haven't been more excited. You're gonna really like that, especially if you don't have an OLED yet. It's gonna be like massively different than what you're used to. Base says, thoughts on TikTok? It's where it's at nowadays. I look at it now and then, and I have no idea what's going on there. So
I've been trying it lately.
Good memes.
The things I really want to do
up on my For You page.
See, the things I really want to do on TikTok, like I don't think I can do. But
yeah, you can't 50-50 it.
No, I thought it would be funny to like, you know, the I'm a Scatman song.
Yeah.
Just have like,
Man.
just be like, did Scatman John really know what he was talking about? And then have the song play, and then like I'm in black and white, and off camera I have a bottle of Hershey's chocolate syrup, but all you see is it like dripping on my face.
I know it. The scat. Yep. There we go.
Like I think that would be hilarious.
Wow. This platform,
like you could do that.
This platform sounds like it might need my help.
You know who does really good on there? What's that guy's name?
Most rappers.
I don't know his actual name, like his channel name. The Elliot guy, he's like good friends with Bob. He lives in England. He's into the Game Boys and shit, like Bob is.
Mm-hmm.
He does what I'm trying to steal, essentially. He does like little quick reviews of stuff, like here's a Game Boy Advance SP. This thing's really fancy. Look at this. Look at this. And like people watch that shit. Like he gets really good views on it.
My favorite thing is your intros where you look super pissed off. You're like, my name's RGT and I have a lot of video games.
Well, see, that's branding because me and Wood were talking about it.
You want to do the same intro every time. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you want to say that you're on YouTube because I don't give a shit about TikTok. I want people from TikTok to come to YouTube.
Good luck to getting it to bleeding over. It's hard to bleed TikTok over. TikTok is like it's
a bubble.
Cool if you could get your algorithm right, but it doesn't bleed over to other social medias very well. So
I'm gonna try TikTok for exactly 1 week, and I'll change the entire platform.
Right.
You should do. I genuinely think that tech stuff is a good niche there.
Yep. We'll see what happens. This is from Rune saying, a few years ago, I didn't have enough money for a PS2, so I ended up stealing one. I was glad to find out that the previous owner completed all side stuff in Final Fantasy X and put me right before the last boss. I was so happy.
That's awesome, man.
That's my favorite comments in a long time.
That's the best super chat I've ever seen. Thank you.
That is really good. Jalen, so that's taken from like the forum thing where if somebody sees someone else post up that they had like something stolen, like a PS2 like this one, they'll make another topic immediately afterwards and do that, just like, oh, I got this PS2 from a guy and he left the save on there.
There was a thing on Reddit once that cracked me up where it was like this kid ordered a bong on Amazon and it came and he's like a little kid and his mom was like, I want you to open this package, and it was obviously a bong and he's like, what? No, it's supposed to be an Xbox controller. What? And he's like trying to pretend to be shocked, and so someone else did an unboxing video where they're like, Jay, I'm gonna be unboxing my new Xbox controller and it's a giant bong too or some shit.
I like that.
Jalen says, so Spire, when are y'all dropping Star Wars Battlefront or Rogue Squadron on the Switch? Those are real questions there. Would like to see Rogue Squadron. Liam says, is it possible for a majority of this generation consoles will only be available bought online? Yeah, probably. We probably won't see consoles in stores until the end of 2024 at this point. It's really weird. Dubai says, I actually loved how they did the Halo TV series. If I wanted it to be exactly like the game, I'd watch the cutscenes of the game.
The last fight scene in the show looked like
that's a take.
Video game quality.
T Jones says, Forward Unto Dawn does Master Chief way better. I would actually agree on that. Yeah, definitely better than the show. Yeah. Ed says, who's winning tomorrow? RGT, Hangman Page, or CM Punk?
I think Punk wins, and then they do a Kingston feud eventually, and Kingston wins it, and then MJF wins it off of Kingston. That's my trajectory.
Okay. Dylan says, what does everyone think we're going to get? When does everyone think we're going to get GTA 6 or we're going to get one? How much they've put into the GTA 5 online? I think we asked that twice. 2024. Look for that. Matthew says, what's the best GBA game or hidden gem? I still like the Legacy of Goku series on there.
I mean, hidden gem, Astro Boy,
Bomberman Max 2, because that's a Game Boy Advance game that's boxed up there.
I've been playing a bunch of Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance stuff, and what I've never played before till recently, and they're surprisingly fantastic, is the Yu-Gi-Oh games. People have always said those games, they're fantastic.
Actually pretty good, yeah.
The Sacred Cards and Rush of Destruction, the two.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Then Adrian says, $100. I thought the poll said $1. I would like to change my vote for the Dreamcast Mini. Evan, we have Discord questions over there still.
After seeing Starfield and Redfall get delayed, are there any other big games that you feel might get delayed to 2023?
Well, I mean, I would say Forspoken. For me, that's probably the one I'm looking at now. I almost thought Gotham Knights there for that. The feedback for that gameplay wasn't great. So unless they're like, oh well, that wasn't all of it. I don't know. That did not go over that well. But I'm leaning towards Forspoken as the big one that potentially get pushed.
All right. Who would you pick to make a game based on Tenet? I feel like we keep getting questions like this.
Why it's just like all like Christopher Nolan's movies?
Yeah,
what about
I feel like we've had all of them. So
how about just
why can't we have a Prestige movie or a game about the Prestige
movie?
I want a Prestige game. Play as both characters.
I want to grab this one from Lotan real quick. Membership. Thanks, Lotan. DCG, Dreamcast guy. Any book recommendations recently?
Something I've been reading recently is Jim Butcher has a series called The Dresden Files. It's probably my favorite ongoing series. They're wizard detective books, so he's dealing with like werewolf mafia or different styles of vampires down in South America and stuff. Well, the writer always said that he was going to write 17 books and blow up the universe. And we just got the 18th book recently, and we're starting to kind of see how he's probably going to destroy the universe. And it's freaking fantastic. If you want a whole book series, the books are cheap as hell, and they just keep getting better. So read those.
Our old timestamp guy loved those.
Shinru says, is pizza considered a meal or snack?
Meal.
Pizza?
Depends how much you eat.
I consider a meal because I eat the entire pizza. Go on.
Yeah.
But like a pizza bite snack.
Oh, a pizza bite is a snack.
Like a Tostito roll or something?
Yeah, that's like a snack, right? The
It's
entire
kind of a snack.
pizza.
What about a hot pocket?
What about a personal pan
Totino.
pizza?
Hot Pocket's
Pocket.
With your mouth.
That's a
what Hot
snack.
Pocket does.
That's a
What about
desperate
a-
meal that is really a snack.
What about
What
an
about a
Elio's
shrimp on
pizza?
Elio's pizza?
Yeah, the Elio's.
Like, what is that? If you eat all three, is that a meal or is that a snack?
All three would be a meal, right?
All three would be a meal. Probably one would be a snack.
Yeah.
What the hell cracks them into one piece?
Psychopaths, mostly.
I guess little kids, you'd be like, here's your piece of pizza. Yay. Then as an adult, you're like, how did I ever just eat this one little rectangle?
This is from Brian saying, hey guys, been recently playing around with Vita modding. Any recommendations? That sounds like an MVG question. And he is not here. And I wish I could tell you, but I did not modify my Vita at all.
Oh, bagel bites.
You know what, Brian? We'll save that for MVG next week. We'll ask him about that. And RGT84 says Tales of Symphonia is the correct answer. Tales of Symphonia is really good on the GameCube. That was a lot of fun. Don't subscribe to Game Pass. PS1 and 2 bodied GameCube and N64, fighting for second and third place. They did. They did.
How old are you?
Look, in my experience, people who leave the meanest, dumbest comments are dudes in 40s who are trying to hide from their wife and kids.
Honestly.
Yeah, that was a dumbass
No.
comment, but I appreciate it. You know, I mean, he is definitely saying some facts, right? I guess it was the third place. The conversation is N64 versus GameCube. All right, we ain't talking about other stuff.
Yeah, I
right,
mean,
man?
whoever said that those were up against the PlayStation 2, I mean, PlayStation 2 is known as the greatest console of all time. Nobody will dispute that.
Yeah.
So your comment is ignorant, asinine, and a waste of our time.
Damn, you take that personally there, Nate.
Thanks for
Nate
the
is
super. Thanks for
revolting,
the,
versus
man.
GameCube. This is important stuff, okay?
thanks for the super chat. Don't
important.
subscribe to Game Pass. Appreciate it. Scott says Switch OLED at Best Buy near me. They have 15 of them.
What?
Wow, that's
Bro,
pretty
I
good if they
can't-
have 15.
Damn. I can't find nothing.
And okay, Scott says MGF left Las Vegas tonight on a flight.
MJF.
Metal Jesus fucks.
How dare you disrespect MJF?
Yeah, evidently, like he. Wow, that's a crazy situation. I'm reading about it now.
Dylan says, "What's Nintendo's gonna release next for the Switch Online membership? Game Boy." Game Boy. Yum
Hopefully.
says, "Modding the Vita is easy and fun. I did it 6 times." There you go. Evan, we got Discord questions left before we
just-
finish up here.
Just two more. What are your brief thoughts on fitness boxing and Ring Fit Adventure? I'm guessing in terms of fitness approach type stuff.
Oh yeah, they're great. I think it's a great way to really get started with it.
Okay. Did you
works? Like it's good if you keep with it, but I do think that it's supplemental. I don't think that it should be your. This is my main workout, unless you're really going in. But it's resistance training. Ring Fit is resistance training, and it's
Yeah.
a little bit of light cardio. I still feel that you should get real weights. You should go outside and run or go to the gym. Like I still feel that, but it's good on off days. Other days, everything you want to supplement it. That's my experience as a certified kinesiologist and a former personal trainer.
It's definitely a good starter. I would say the boxing is a little bit more almost like a rhythm game than anything. It really depends on how much you commit to it, but if you're playing the boxing game, anything like how a lot of people play Wii Sports, you're not going to get much use out of it. Ring Fit, you might be able to calibrate it a little bit softer than your true strength, which might make it a little bit easier. So you might be able to skimp on it a little bit. But for the most part, it is a good starter for people, especially if you do commit to it on a daily basis. And sometimes the best place to start is just with your own body weight. So if you're not wanting to, maybe you're intimidated by weights or something or machines, it does do a good job of not just making you move your legs on like the Wii balance board, but it actually, is a really well-made ring.
The
So
squats are good. Like the getting those body squats in. Yes.
like the yoga, and they have you do the sit-ups and stuff. Those are
Yeah,
really
those-
cool. I would just, say like if you're gonna do it, just get comfortable and get like a yoga mat or something. Don't do it on the tile like I did because that was dumb.
Just hire Sean. He got you taken care of.
I have a Nintendo employee on my friends list on Switch, and this dude plays like 3 or 4 hours of that fucking boxing game a day, I feel like. And I follow him on Twitter. The dude is just shredded. It seems like he just plays that stupid. He has like thousands of hours in the Switch boxing game.
Yeah, he's committed. He's committed then. I don't know. That stuff it's just hard for me because I'm so old. You know, I didn't grow up with that. So it's hard for me to say, oh, this is the main workout, you know?
I mean, it is kind of like Dance Dance Revolution a little bit, you know, the boxing one, but with your hands. My main thing is like, I just wish the trainers talked a little less because it tends to bleed over and you can get distracted. But it is fun, and there are a lot of people that do enjoy it. So it's up to you how much dedication you're willing to put forward into it and dive back into the fitness realm.
All right. And last one. I'm not really too sure about this one. Can someone explain, in the days of the Wii's Check Me Out channel, why were there always so many Steve Harvey me's?
Check me out.
Maybe because he's popular?
I don't know.
I only saw Jokers all day.
Vaguely.
The Check Me Out channel is literally just a place you go to see other people's me's that they upload.
Yeah.
That's it.
I remember that's what it was.
Oh, that's the one where they do like the runways and you could vote on them.
Oh,
and then
yeah,
you could,
okay.
I remember that. That was so cool because you could see how creative people were getting with the different characters. I actually really like
Nintendo
them.
and Creative Online.
They do like parades of like all the same character and stuff. That was cool. I do remember
those
that.
were fun days. Those were weird days, but I think those were fun days. Now I'm looking back on it.
You know, it was like, and then Miiverse came
They had
along.
like the Everybody Votes channel and like all these weird things.
Yeah,
it was just stupid stuff, but it's fun looking back.
Well,
on
they
it.
had the news channel, they had the weather channel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you remember they had the picture one too, where you could like edit all the pictures and stuff? But they also had on the like the Wii channel where they had like all the new, they'd release all the trailers on there. It was like Nintendo's own version of YouTube a little bit, but they had not Nintendo Minute, it was Nintendo Week. We actually went through a whole bunch of episodes a couple months ago where they would just talk and do like the interviews with the devs on the games that were coming out. It was pretty cool.
Nice to get
Were
weird
Kit and Krista on there?
No, it was Gary and
Like
Chat, help me out.
Dark Gary and something
Dark
like
Gary.
that? Yeah,
Literally, you remember Dark Gary?
Yeah,
Bros.
that show was corny as hell.
It was so funny though. Oh my god.
That's because you were a child when you were watching it. I was old. I'm like, this is trash.
Listen, not all of us are almost close to 60 years old. So.
Damn, getting
It
attacked.
happens. You get old.
This is
It'll happen to you.
Allison, thank you. It was Allison. Thank you, chat.
This is from Chris saying, Nate, hope to see you at Arts and Crafts Festival. Paul Tuxet Village is one of our Rhode Island hidden gems.
Yes, that's part of the Gatsby weekend celebration.
Oh, okay. There you go.
If I am there, you will not know.
He'll be the
maybe they'll
one
hear you.
that is way too weirdly dressed.
Maybe they'll hear you.
There are people dressed as colonial men at these.
Oh, so
well, that'll be the parade
so you
next
will.
Well,
weekend.
I need to be there to be Paul Revere.
This predates Paul Revere.
Knights
Wow,
Triple
I'm
A
out.
is coming. Knights Triple A is coming.
I can't ride a horse though because I hate horses.
I was about to say, I thought you hated horses.
This is from
That's like his whole shtick. That's his
he
only
does hate
shtick.
this is from Banana saying, just came back from my B-Day dinner. Monday sucked my B-Day, but this celebration was beastly. I'm full of beer and gelato. Sorry if I overshare. I'm just happy something good came out of this week. Have a good one.
Happy
Hell yeah.
birthday.
Happy birthday, bro.
Let's see. This is from the Leo saying, there's this talk of violent video games causing these sad mass incidents. Out of many years of being a gamer, what do you guys think?
It's people making pathetic excuses. Coward cops did not save those fucking kids, and now they're gonna be like, "Oh, it's the video games. The cyber caused this."
Games have just always been an easy like scapegoat for anything violent like that, and it's been proven so many times that's not the cause of any of that. It's easy for older people to say it's the video game's fault. So
Yeah, but you also know what it is. They want more rules and regulations so they can get their tax money in from it.
yeah, but they've always been like video games are the devil, and it's that, and it's like
Video games, rap music, and heavy metal.
Yeah,
and
I feel like we've been
tabletop
through this
D&D.
way too many times with that, and it's like nah, not buying that. Let's see, is that everything? Maybe it is. Okay. Sub says replaced was delayed. The reasons developers gave us far-fetched. I feel bad about buying a Series X. Fans need more games. Well, to be fair, no. Replaced. The reason that was delayed is because of the situation between Ukraine and Russia. Is actually probably the most understandable delay that could have happened there. Shinru says, which console had the better library, Vita or 3DS? I would say 3DS.
3DS.
Yep, definitely. And I think that's everyone. Let me go around here. Thanks everyone for joining us tonight. Let me go to OJ. Where can everyone find you?
Yeah, you found me right here on Player Essence. I got a cool video dropping tomorrow talking about some interesting RPG stuff. So I appreciate everybody that comes through. Got a Spawncast pre-show that starts Saturdays at usually like around 7 o'clock Eastern. So about 2 hours before the show starts. So you guys can come through to that. A lot of people coming through. Appreciate all the support, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. And yeah, thanks for having me on, John.
We got Miss Click. Where can everyone find you?
Thanks for having me. You can find me here on YouTube as Misclick Gaming, or you can find me where I'm most active, which is on Twitch at twitch.tv/misclick_live. Actually pretty excited because on Monday we're gonna actually be we're starting a full playthrough, and we're gonna be doing Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on Monday. So we're gonna be doing that. It's gonna be great. And it's gonna, I'm gonna stop and share my opinions on all of it. So yeah, stop by if you want to do that. Other than that, it's just Twitter and Instagram as Misclick.
I'll be watching.
Awesome. So we have a chat here from Dwan Davis.
I'm very confused by it. That's why I was laughing.
Hey, what's up, y'all? What's up, OJ? I had a question. I think pregnant games this year make another fighting game. Do you agree with me, yes or no? I think you may be trying to spell one of the companies.
No, I think he means Platinum Games.
Platinum Games. There we go. We got it. Okay.
I like
it. Says another fighting game.
Platinum Games.
How is that Platinum?
Yeah, what fighting game have they made?
Well, hold on. Maybe like an action game, kind of like Bayonetta's coming out, right?
Are they gonna make like another action game? Because like I think he's talking about like the rumors of Astral Chain 2.
Yes.
You know, and stuff like that. So
could see it get announced. Don't know if it's coming out this year, but could get announced. Right, like could be announced at like the September Direct or something even.
Yeah, I don't know if Astral Chain. I don't know if they're gonna announce that like anytime soon. But yeah, maybe September Direct or maybe even next year. Remember Astral Chain? It was announced in February Direct and it launched.
It came out quick.
That like 6 months later.
Yes.
So they might want to do that again, where they just it's when it's ready to go. But Astral Chain
Platinum, you want to make sure they're good to go with that one before it rolls out. Yeah, you need to make sure they're all right. We're good. Timetable, cool.
I don't know why I thought that was like a weird inside reference to like one of your streams, OJ. I was like, what's a specific genre of pregnant games or something? What are you talking about?
This is from Dylan says, is there a game that you guys have been wanting to play but it's been sitting in your backlog for 10 years or more? 10 years or more. I was gonna say Trails of Cold Steel because I've been trying to start that one, but I'm on Horizon. I'm gonna start it.
I feel like if you let it go that long,
I feel
like if you let it go that long, you didn't actually want to play that game.
Mario Superstars Baseball on the GameCube. I own it.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Never played it. Sorry.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, so you didn't actually want to play it. So
it's good. Come on, man. Greetings. This is from Fist, who says, greetings from Fresno, California way. Which well-known franchises do you see dying off in the next 20 years?
All of them.
20 years, I feel like, is a very long time.
I want to say Far Cry, but that still sell. The last one didn't sell as well. Like they need to revamp that series.
Next 20 years, that could be so many.
Everything.
Halo.
Every 20 years. I mean, if you go back 20 years from now, what was popular is like nothing outside of some stuff that Nintendo does, but pretty much nothing else was as popular as like right now, like the games that are popular now.
Or it didn't even exist.
Or it didn't exist, or it wasn't popular. So 20 years from now, it's going to be completely different.
I think
we could have AR or something.
Whatever pregnant games makes will probably be futile in 20 years.
I want to see the Naughty Dog pregnant games crossover collab.
Let me go to Max Dreamcast Guy. Where can everyone find you?
YouTube.com/Dreamcast Guy. This coming week, I'm going to take a look at Diablo Immortal. Huzzah! And of course, I'll be watching the State of Play.
Okay. Let me go to Jordan, Mr. Fringe.
Thanks for having me. You can find me on my channel, Jordan Fringe. New videos every week.
And we're going to go over here to Nate the Hate.
Hold on a second. I am typing a text message.
Going over here to Sean, RGT85.
You can find me on all forms of social media as RGT85. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right. Going back to Nate.
Almost done.
And back to Evan. Evan, where can everyone find you?
Find me on Twitter, Kimworks Project. If I'm going live with my streams or if anything's happening with pretty much anything, I'll usually tweet it there. I'm going to be doing mostly miniature.
Yo, that jersey showed up, didn't it?
Yeah, it showed up. They are slim cut, so I mean it fits, but it definitely feels like when you see actual football, I guess, players on the field.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool.
It's that tight fitting approach.
Oh,
so if you're looking for something loose, you're gonna want to go a size up.
Oh, that's what I'm looking for. That'll work for me. I'm happy.
Wrap it over my bulging
I'm waiting for it to. I'm still wait. Yours got there, so mine's probably like.
It's probably a couple days, yeah.
How long does it take? Is it still like a couple weeks? Mine hasn't come in yet, so.
I reordered mine because mine was too tight, and it said like 2 weeks or something. So
okay.
I reordered it yesterday, I want to say.
Gotcha.
Back to Nate.
Yeah, so you can find me on YouTube at Nate the Hate and on Twitter at Nate the Hate, followed by the number 2. MVG and myself will either have a predictions episode for the Sony event, or we will have a reaction episode. That depends on where in the outback he is and if he's hanging around with a dingo or if he's been kidnapped by a kangaroo. We'll find out.
Okay. Thanks everyone for joining us here for the Spawncast. We will see everyone back here next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Hopefully we have a state of play and
there'll be fireworks next week.
Nintendo Direct getting announced this week, right? So hopefully Sega drops the Dreamcast Mini. It's gonna be crazy next Saturday night. Everyone show up.
Fireworks.
See you guys
Saturday night.
Dare to keep the kids off drugs. Dare to keep the kids off.